safe. Pretty safe for the time being. They're kind of separated here. We are only in circle number 2, so let's see. I'm hoping, I'm praying that we can get a hard shift in this next circle so we can see some violence.
Yeah, I think phase 3 is definitely going to be the catalyst as far as action is concerned here in match number 2. And there it goes, slightly shifting over towards the east of things, but definitely going to be sending a lot of these teams into some open areas. Certainly El Pozo is going to be a great spot to get some cover, but not too many teams are going to be able to take that option. Other teams are going to be having to force around the edges of the game. No one's going to be playing off the center part of phase number 3 because it's wide open fields. If you find yourself there as a squad, it is going to be out of necessity, a last-ditch effort to stay alive as many squads start to clash. FaZe Clan versus Team Liquid. This is going to be an epic clash in between two of the top teams coming out of the European region, with Gustav, aka Holly, trying to stay alive right now as the shots continue to ring out. FaZe has an interesting perspective on this fight. They've got Uba, I believe, playing the Overwatch position, the elevated line of sight to keep that high ground above the members of Team Liquid.
We already see James knocked down and out. Mixie came on Ibiza. Going to be right on top of
third party too.
Holly. 1999. Holly going to be holding this angle right here behind the shack. We are going to see some smoke. FaZe starts to toss out. Smoke space, buzz space, that is. I'm using it all the time. And look at that. In the kill feed, Mixie came on. Going to be fragging out onto Fuzz Face right there.
K-Mine went for the flush and got knocked because of it. Tried to hop out of the door and knock down Gustav. Was able to do it, yes, I believe so, but also got burned and knocked in the process, leaving two of the members of FaZe up and alive. Uba and Atesy now a quick retreat off of the hillside to try to get some support to the lone member of FaZe that was previously in the compound. They know exactly where Mixie is. They are trying to seal the fate here for Team Liquid, which would be another devastating loss for this TL squad in game number 2. Again, this is a squad that looks to improve their performance, and now a third party going to be coming in. A full DA crash, sending it into the western side of this compound is not what Team Liquid or FaZe, to be honest, wanted, but it certainly is going to be playing into the favor of the members of FaZe clan, as Team Liquid just absolutely gets decimated through Ibiza, going to be the only member of Liquid, I believe, still on their feet.
Yeah, and of all the teams in the lobby, who would have guessed DA would have been making the crash?
I know.
I mean, they're going to be losing 2 members. Look like Smash
Ibiza
is going to be alive. Yep, Ibiza is the last remaining member right now from the side of Team Liquid. AC will be connected on Uba. The best player in the world, as Esquire put it, is going to be alive. So we got a 1v1v1 happening right now between Ibiza, Uba, and Smash. Meanwhile, up there in the north, another push happening. I mean, this is crazy.
we were thinking, Dave, maybe the chaos is going to settle down after game number 1, kind of that unknown game that we're so used to seeing in tournaments. But no, game number 2 is going to keep that pace up, and maybe we're going to see that throughout the entirety of today, at least for the Miramar matches. One more coming up after this before we transition over, or I believe, no, we're transitioning right over into Sandhawk after this. This is the final Miramar game of the day. So as we still watch this 1v1v1, the triangle fight popping off down on the southern side of this circle as the next shift comes in as well. Will these teams have to move, or will they be able to continue to just hold on to this compound and really not take the fight? They don't need to, but other teams, Dave, based off of this hard shift down to the southwest, are going to be drawn to this compound. It is a given. It is something to absolutely hang your bets on. And Navi going to be going out as well early on, Dave. 15th place. It's been a very interesting tournament so far.
Yeah, we got people in the chat saying cash register is Ival. They're saying it's Tiggleton. They're saying it's McCoy. So they're tossing out all types of if I was Smash from DA, I see I'm making a little movements here and there. I would just kind of bunker down for the time being. All 3 of these solos are going to be in the next circle. But let's check in with Unity, as set 7 is going to be getting sprayed on right now by Tornado Energy.
Trying to stay alive here on the side of the circle. Set does go down, yes, but Inuctive comes up huge, able to find a double. A doozy, an example, going to be knocked down to the process. Nades are going to be prepped and ready to try to find at least a little bit of capitalization on those knocks. Will they be able to find the flushes? Not yet. One more member of this Tornado Energy squad is trying to attempt the res, trying to stay alive. There comes the confirmation. A doozy will be flushed out of the game. But what else is going to be coming in here? The Unity Swarm is going to be coming out as well, as Tornado Energy just tries to stay alive. Whatever happens here has to happen pretty quickly. The blue zone is already starting to push down very quickly from the northern side.
And they're again third party by Elgiganten Gaming up there in the north, looking down on this as well. Going to be taking the shots onto them. So I do see example popping in the Bronco. Attempt to pull it out of the garage, but here we go, getting getting sprayed on from behind and taking the quick flick onto Queasy. Queasy is going to be taken down and out. You'd have suspected Queasy had the upper hand there.
Just in time.
The initial shots onto Example, but yeah, Example still attempting to just back that Bronco out of the garage. And like you mentioned, time was not on the side of any of these teams, and just in time, like you mentioned, able to get on out of there safely. And see if they can survive this rotation.
Ogaganton going to be one of those teams that we talked about that's forced to rotate and hold a position along the fields. A very wide open and dangerous position to hold as another very epic battle starts to prep on the northwestern side of this hardship. Down towards the south, it's our victors of the previous game, Ents starting to compete against the likes of WTSG. Let's tune in with the members of WTSG and see how they're starting to handle the forces coming off the edge. All right, I believe we're trying to get those comms sorted for you guys at home, so we'll get back into the action right now and see how this continues to play out. Tornado Energy starting to rotate down as well. Nookie going to be cracked upon right now. The shots starting to come out. Example going to be tracking down almost immediately. Nookie's able to come up on top of that victorious, but the other members of Tornado Energy are there to back them up. Rahina going to be having a huge difficulty trying to maintain and stay alive inside of the shack. They're not going to be able to get out of the shack very easily. They're trying to find a way to throw some nades out, trying to find a way to open something up here. And at least for right now, they're going to be able to do so, Dave. This looks like it might be okay for Rahina.
Yeah, and we're seeing the kill feed Ents going to continue to just rain down hell. I mean, we talked to Squeaky last game. They're like, listen, we're just coming in these games. We're going to have some fun here, not let any of the stress get to us. So we'll see if they can come out on top. They have 4 members remaining, the full team right here on the edge of this new zone. Welcome to South George, down to 3 here. It looks like Ents are going to have to roll right on over one of the strongest teams in the lobby. And they get the knocks here to open this one up. Looks like welcome to South George. Hopping vehicles, not wanting to take the fight, and attempting to pop out some tires right here. Not able to connect. And Bard, though, is like, hey, you guys left me. You guys left me in my shack. I don't think Bard has a vehicle. And they're like, see you later, Bard. You're on your own. Can Bard get the 1v4? Rest of them are going to be making the push up to Bard first. Bard trying to defend their shack. Rest of Bard not even behind Bard, walking past Bard. Take it down. No.
He's able to find it. Goes back inside the shack, tries to get the reset. This is the smart play to make, but will he be snuffed out with grenades and Molotovs? They already start to fly in, and Vard will be going down. The M416 rings true for Ents, and they're able to pick up another big kill onto WTSG. However, third party starts to come in. Rahina is able to find a knockdown onto one of the members of Ents and try to stay alive. And WTSG, now Zhang, the only member left alive. 1 kill to their name, and certainly, definitely not the performance that WTSG was looking for here in game number 2. Quick retreat trying to come out, and it's going to be going up in flames as the members of Ents come up with a huge squad elimination and possibly a free hold onto the northwestern side of what has now become phase number 5. They still have to worry about the solo player from Rahina as well as Omican Esports. And I believe one other squad starting to rotate in from the south, Adapt. So still going to be some forces for the members of Ents to have to combat against, possibly even pick up some kills. But a battle is also starting to prep itself down towards the south as Blaze starts to face off against Tempest.
As the kids say, easy for Ents. Let's see if Ents can get back-to-back chicken dinners here on Miramar. Maybe Miramar is their map of choice here. But we're going to be checking in Blaze down here in the south. Going to be making the pull-up onto Bookie, Tamil. Bookie's going to be taken down and out. Blaze, 4 members alive. Looks like they're going to be opting to get into the vehicles, maybe use them as cover. They're going to be pulling up these hay bales and this tractor up here. Like only 2 members remaining out here on the opponent's side of Tempest. This is going to be in the circle, so they can kind of take their time, but it doesn't look like Lipson wants to take their time. They're going to be going for the aggression play here, pushing up just a little further, getting cover behind this other tractor, having to heal up.
It'd be Cash Register that was able to at least capitalize on some of those knocks. Again, bit donations in chat with your guess on who Cash Register is. think that's what you said, Dave, right?
Yeah, Tiggleton. My bets are on Tiggleton.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got it. Tommel gonna be holding on though. Still has to worry about the very deadly forces just on the opposite side of the hay bales. Pretty much.
The molly.
Definitely within range. Yeah, the molly is starting to burn very close up on top of the roof. Smoke, rather, flashbang comes in. It's going to be opening up a push now. Coming in from Lipson. Will he be able to find the member, though? Of this one, he sees the gun. From the backside, he's going to be knocked down to a few HP. The other shots come in, and he does get flushed out of the game. Out goes Blazes Lipson, leaving that squad with 3 alive. Tempest still going to be maintaining a presence with 2 alive as this battle rages on in phase number 6. But the blue zone is going to start pushing, Dave, and Blaze has to at least push a few meters up towards the north to evade that phase 6 blue zone damage. It's not going to be easy, and still with 2 members of Tempest alive, Clib and Tommel, they're certainly going to be looking to eliminate this squad in their steps.
Yeah, I mean, that I know it's Miramar, but Lipson right there, too thirsty, in my opinion. Too thirsty, hopping on over that Marauder. Getting flushed out. I mean, kind of what you have to expect here. They had no support from that angle, and now they're going to pretty much force Blaze to have 3 members alive here, and Blaze all going to be stacked on top of each other. Here, these hay bales, their Bronco is going to be burnt to a crisp, and the outside of the zone, and they're getting third party. So the tables seem to be turning just a little bit here. Tempest, with only 2 members alive, able to keep Blaze at bay for the time being. Tom Hill is going to be attempting to connect once again, and just like that, down to 1 more member. Oh my goodness, Esquire. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's never good for Blaze when you start to get third-partied as well. The third party, Dave, came in from our 3 solo members, still hugging the southeastern side of this circle. Those 3 members of both Team Liquid, Digital Athletics, and then, of course, FaZe's Uba are still going to be alive. They haven't been crashed upon. They haven't had to face off against any squads trying to take over this compound. But now, slowly but surely, at least the Northern Lights are starting to position themselves to spot out these 3 solos down to the south. Shots being traded back and forth now between these locations, as at least every area pretty much the circle still remains very active. There, with a few more shots from the M416 of Clib from Tempest, finds the elimination onto Rip 9 of Blaze Esports.
Let me get some Rip 9s in the chat right there for Blaze. Yep, and some bits. Northern Lights, though, 4 members alive. You know, I was questioning last game. They had like 14 to 15 kills. I was questioning, was that just a one-off? Yes, this game is not over yet. They currently are sitting on 5 kills. They're going to be out there in the north. But one thing we gotta note, Esquire, the 3 solo triangle still alive out there. Ibiza, Uba, and Smash from DA still alive. These 3 individuals have been sitting here for the past 10 minutes. Watching Netflix. I don't know. Watching Netflix, eating protein bars. I don't know what, but this next circle is not going to favor them. It's not going to favor them. So they're going to make a push.
It pretty much doesn't favor anyone on the map. Everyone was pretty much left to an edge position after we saw this phase 7 shift take us all the way down to the south. But the battles are already starting to rage on as Tempest is able to continue to capitalize on this, picking up another kill, adding to that kill count even further here in game number 2. Again, a squad that in game number 1 was pretty deadly, Dave. They didn't pick up the game victory, but they certainly did pick up a massive amount of points in the process. FaZe Zuba now going to be departing out of the building, met with some shots coming out of Digital Athletics, trying to push them all, trying to do whatever he can to zone off the pressure from the members, or rather member of DA, but that's going to be all she wrote. FaZe Clan, out they go. Smash with the M416, eliminates Uba in 8th place position. 7 teams going to be remaining here. Ibiza still going to be alive. The solo player finds significant damage with the nade on top of Smash for DA, but not able to find the body to get that one more shot out. In the process of this, though, a massive fight breaks out up towards the northwest. Omican Esports going to be eliminated in the process by ENCE. Team Liquid goes down. DA reigns supreme down here to the southeast and might be met with some shots up from the Northern Lights. But ENCE has been able to stay alive. They still have to worry about the significant forces of Northern Lights as well as adapt right outside of their compound.
Yeah, I mean, Smash can actually win this one for DA. They can actually walk away the chicken dinner this game, and I'm going to be cheering all the way. But meanwhile, while that trifecta, that Netflix party came to an end out there, everybody watching Tiger King, I know it's nuts. ENCE, we're out here on the west. They made the push onto 2 members of Omican, and still 4 members alive right here. They're going to take a 4v3. I love how they're opting to keep Squeaky on the second story, kind of overlooking this right now. We're going to see the mollies. We're going to see the grenades. Nookie going to be trying to survive just a little longer, find this cover for the squad. Can they do it for a dash here? going to be a very challenging situation. But 1v4, just not able to bring that one home. And now the fight of the century. Northern Lights up there on the high ground, 4 members alive. Ents down here on the low ground, 4 members alive. This could be the deciding fight on who gets the chicken dinner this game.
I mean, Dave, a year ago, Ents, under a bit of a different roster, was making waves with how they were performing in the pro leagues for competitive PUBG. And now a year later, yes, different roster, but same type, same caliber of performances coming out of them so far, at least today. Time will tell, but if they continue on this track, they are definitely going to be doing massive things in season number 2. Keeping that 4 stack alive, they will be facing off against one more team with 4 up. It's going to be the Northern Lights, who's still trying to control and maintain that solo player for DA. They don't exactly know where he is. Maybe he's in the smoke. They've got him pinned down. Throw some mollies in that direction and see if you can come up with something. And certainly they did. Burn, burn, burn is where DA is going to be going. Bachelin is able to find the eliminating kill onto Smash. Now 3 teams remain. Ents versus Northern Lights versus down to the far south, the members of Tempest.
Yeah, if I'm Tomil, I'm just going to be straight chilling. I'm just going to be worming it out right now in the dirt. But no, Tomil's going to be taking some shots right now. They're alerting Ents to their whereabouts here. Rustamar going to be looking that direction. Rustamar needs to be careful, though. We do have Spyro behind this tree, also trying to get the off angle onto Ents. Squeaky getting extremely aggressive after getting that knock on to Perfect. It's going to be a nail biter here. And I believe we're going to be listening on into some comms.
Смоку. Может,
Понимаю, взрывать будут.
Он направо пойдет, да?
Ты
Он
не
в
в зоне?
смоках будет чилить.
Или в зоне?
Налево смог какой-то
Я в зоне.
раскинул. И левых до конца.
Сними сразу хаешки и пятерки.
У меня нет флешек, есть флешки.
Дай пятерки. Ну 4-4, походу, либо 2-2.
Он слева кидает, слева флешку кинул, слева смока. Он влево ушел, походу, один. Как минимум.
Подойди, как я.
Еще
Вижу,
одну
на
кинул,
метке, да.
еще одну кинул. Вижу, под смоком, под смоком. Кидай молик ему.
Не спешите тратить флешки и так далее, у нас зона. У вас справа, смотрите, чтобы слева не вышел, слева под
Я
вами
слева
чел.
смотрю, я лево смотрю, пол.
Сейчас справа
Флешку
выдавится.
накидывает.
Не флеши.
Я влево тоже
Он
сразу.
под ЛГшкой, под ЛГшкой играет, под дорогой.
Мой смог.
Левых смотрю до конца.
Я под камнем играю у них.
Он в смоках.
Вижу, они на краю.
Он
Кусаюсь.
слева может пройти.
Пусть идет. Они сейчас зарубятся, мы увидим, подойдет файт. Еще одна флешка.
Это
Где
не
хаешка?
флеш. Это хае.
Хаешку,
Ну.
понял. Все, 2-2,
Дай
походу.
аптеку, дай аптеку. Быстрее.
Я дал еще одному.
Кинул.
Меня нокнули.
Кидай
Я
молик.
хилюсь, парни. Парни, хилюсь, смотреть
Давай,
надо.
еще молик кидаем.
Их 3 там. Синего.
Окей.
Мой дотек.
Слева
Он
хуярит.
добивает, да, добивает. его.
Я
Вместе,
здесь
вместе,
лягу.
пацаны.
Я здесь лягу.
Давай.
Зона у вас. Ниже
Ничего
вообще
нет,
нету,
ничего
негде,
больше
негде
не
играть.
осталось по гранатам.
Ничего нет.
Смоки.
Видишь,
Пойдём за
ползёт,
подсинкой.
ползёт. Вместе вот пикните. Двое там, двое.
Отойди. Отойди, отъешь?
Да я и нормально,
Нокнул
я
одного,
нормально.
нокнул одного.
Убил.
Ещё у меня
Ластов,
слева,
ласт.
ласт. Вместе
Меня
играйте.
хилов
Все,
нет.
пошли.
Перфектились, погоди, перфектились.
У меня нет хилов, у меня нет.
Пошли.
Пошли. Хорош.
Хорошо.
Winner,
And there
winner.
you have it.
Chicken dinner.
Ooh, big win coming in for the members of the Northern Lights. 11 kills, Dave, and that chicken dinner brings them to a whopping 21-point game coming out from match number 2. I think this was something they were trying to put together in game number 1. Surely they got stopped at Picado because of it, but this game, they found the pay dirt.
Hey, good for them. Good for them. I love to see it. I mean, so many kills in game number 1, the chicken dinner in this game. If I had to bet you double or nothing because I won the last bet, the 500 bits on El Pozo,
Right.
I would
Yeah,
say that they have to be in first place on the overall leaderboards. So you could take that one. You could take that one, Esquire.
What,
And I
t-
know
take
you
it where?
will.
To the bank?
Because you love, betting them bits. Hey, welcome to the chat.
Biddies.
I see Crimson in the chat. Crimson DM'd me saying Texas Q is cash register. I don't know how true that is. It has been 2 years.
Yeah,
people
I
are
think
free
the competitive ban is, I believe,
2 years.
lifted for
for a couple
for
of these
him
players
and,
that got the ban hammer 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
hey, I mean, honestly, I'm all about giving people second chances. Honestly, if
Yeah.
I'm really talking here. I mean,
But at the end of the day, they're still idiots, and I'm very comfortable saying that. But a great game number 2 played out, Dave. I mean, you got to be really happy. If you're a Northern Lights fan coming off of that game number 1, where they were doing pretty well, they had that momentum up until those final few minutes. They were able to come back here in this match, and as I said, capitalize beautifully on that. A whopping kill count, combo that with the first place, and like you said, are probably sitting fairly comfortably now on the leaderboards as we rotate off of Miramar and transition now from the desert over to the jungle of Sandhawk, which is still going to be that kind of asterisk, that unknown, definitely. As we talked about match number 1, maybe the first map of any mat, or the first match rather of any map, being kind of curious as to where teams are going to drop in that tournament. Sandhawk always kind of remains constant in terms of what's going to happen this time around. Our team's going to be true to those drop locations, or our team's going to try to maybe switch things up a little bit.
all right, we're gonna have an interview with Batalons from the Northern Lights, and we're gonna get them in here. Get them in here. Batalons, how's it going, my man?
Yo. Hello.
Yo, Northern Lights. I mean, you guys last game 14, 15 kills. This game, the chicken dinner. Is this something that we should expect from Northern Lights moving forward this year?
This year,
Yeah, this whole year, man, 2020.
I think you should expect being us on a lot of tournaments. I hope to go to PGS where we qualified. So it was our the whole goal for this year. Yeah, to qualify, to play good, and I think you just have to expect that we're gonna fight. We play well now. We feel confident in our game, so we feel okay. Yeah, we have some problems with the FaZe clan that they are looting the same spots as us. Yeah, so I think chat gonna see the contest in Painan in the next game. So yeah, that's what you can expect from us.
Yeah, that's actually one of the questions I was going to ask you about, because FaZe, at least in the European region for Sandhawk, has been the Painan team. Nobody has really contested them except for maybe Navi over to the east of where they drop with the pretty good victory here in match number 2 and the good performance coming off of game number 1. Is Northern Lights going to be able to continue this path of domination, or do you think maybe things are going to pull back and kind of level out a little bit?
It depends on the circles and on the success of the contest with the FaZe clan, at least in the third map, yeah, on Sanok. So I can only say that we're gonna play our best game. So yeah, I can't say that we're gonna crush all the games like yeah, it's PUBG. So we're just gonna play our game and hope we're gonna do it well.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your victory in match number 2, and good luck as you guys transition over to Sandhawk. That's going to do it, guys, for game number 2. It's in the books, and we've got 4 more games this evening for you. Again, Sandhawk, and then 3 rounds of Erangel to close it on out. Want to give a big shout out to all of you guys in chat for sticking through the evening with us so far, and we look forward to broadcasting even more PUBG esports for you guys in the future. We'll be back in a few minutes after this break. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the 303 Esports Pro League Season 2 for the European region. My name is Esquire, joined here by Mustache Dave. 2 games are now in the books, 4 more left for this evening's slate of matches. Before we get into Sandhawk, the Rumble in the Jungle, the 3rd game of the day, Dave, let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboards to date and walk us through what we're looking at.
Yep. T-Wire, first of all, thank you for all your hard work and sponsoring the 303 event. It's pretty good. I love their service. As if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to load it. And I got it loaded. Ends. I said it. 500 bits.
Yeah,
Gonna be in
you
first
said
place.
Northern Lights, Dave. You said Northern
Gonna be in
Lights.
first place. All right, 20 kills. They're only 1 point ahead of Northern Lights, though. Tempest,
Right,
3rd
yeah.
place. Daps, 4th. FaZe in 5th. What's standing out to you, Esquire?
Yeah, I mean, so besides the obvious of just Ensign Northern Lights kind of gunning for it neck and neck, but also Tempest as well, those 3 have definitely run away with what I would say, you know, the Miramar match is obviously of the day. But that would be great if it was just Miramar, but it's not. And it's not just a one-day tournament. It's, well, 3 weeks and then the grand finals and also 3 maps. So it's something to definitely give some weight, but not to kind of walk away with just yet. Adepts, FaZe Clan, Digital Athletics, kind of everyone still in this lobby, Dave, has ample opportunity to show their stuff to try to establish themselves before day number 1 is over. My eyes, though, here in game number 3, specifically on Sandhawk, are going to be on Pinon. As we heard from Northern Lights just a second ago from Bachelin, I believe it was, he talked about how, well, Pinon, it's going to be an area of the map that we want to contest. And then I also mentioned how Navi generally likes to at least cruise over towards where FaZe rotates to after that initial loot drop. So Pinon, I've always said it since Sandhawk got kind of inserted into the PUBG competitive map lineup, it's the strongest location on the map by virtue of it being so centralized. You can pretty much have the best opportunity to land yourself inside of phase 1 of any team on the map. But let's go ahead and get into game number 3.
All right, so Esquire, I appreciate that. We are going to be in game number 3 here on Moist and Sweaty Sandhawk. The player is going to be jumping out of the cargo hold door. Will they go to Paradise? Will they go to Bootcamp? Where they go to Pine Amber Quarry? Well, guess what? We're going to find out here in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, just a couple seconds. Indeed, Dave, and this plane path already going to give us something to talk about. Favored up towards the far northwestern side of Sandhawk, is not necessarily going to cut off any of those loot locations down to the far south, but it will at least add a small bit of transition, a small bit of time onto that loot phase for these squads. However, eyes, though, going to be directed towards this location, this beautiful river town that you're getting a glimpse of right now, Pinon, where FaZe Clan has previously been going. Certainly they will be going back there again, as well as Northern Lights. This will be the hottest contest, at least in the last year or so, since Sandhawk has been in the map pool that we have seen at this specific area. So still going to be big enough of a town for 2 teams to split comfortably, but I don't think either team is going to want to concede that.
I mean, FaZe, have you checked out their Instagrams? They got some hot players, Esquire. So when it comes to the hot contest, they might win, but we'll have to pay attention and see exactly who will be out on top. We did mention the scoreboard here, and they're 23 points ahead on the scoreboard of FaZe, who are currently in 5th place. But you know what? It's early game. EU, they love it. I think we're going to listen on in to some comms and really dive deep and see what's going on.
He was just across here, blue.
Very good.
I'm just bandaging up.
Could he be pushing at us?
If you feel like you have an opening, then go for it. And we'll try to support you. But they don't usually make a move. They usually sit in their houses and wait.
Some planner, boys.
No.
All right, so interesting. We did get a glimpse of how FaZe was trying to deal with members of Northern Lights. You heard Fuzzface talk about how they expected Northern Lights to kind of sit back in the houses on that eastern side of the river and wait for FaZe Clan to push out over to the east and into a more vulnerable state. However, that is not going to be happening. We saw a quick retreat up the hillside to the east of Python coming out from the members of the Northern Lights. They're not going to be taking this battle. They are not going to be contesting this like we thought, instead conceding it essentially as they start to make their way up towards phase number 1. Phase number 1 is not going to be including Python, so that's something to at least factor in to why we didn't see that as a clash that we were lining up. Shots though going to be popping off around the map. 3.5-minute mark. Blaze Esports starts to spawn out. Members of DA.
DA currently in 6th place on the overall leaderboards. Now, these points, you know, we got a total of 18 games, so you can take it or leave it, really. But it just goes to show how after 2 games having a phenomenal start, you could just shoot throughout that leaderboard. DA, they're only going to have 6 kills with 12 points, tied with FaZe, who have 8 kills and 12 points as well. That's that 5th and 6th position. But the real kind of heavy hitters right now in our lobby currently, ENCE, Northern Lights, Tempest, they're all sitting up there with around 35 to 32 points, all the way down there at the bottom. We got Welcome South George with a whopping 1 point, right ahead of Navi with also 1 point. So definitely a couple teams that need to make that comeback here in game number 3, kind of the flipperino of the lobby, I want to say. When it comes to the map pool, you got Erangel, you got Miramar, you got Sandhawk. So it's kind of like that reset button, in my opinion. You know, it's not Miramar. If your team sucks at Miramar, it's okay. It's done for the day. You don't need to worry anymore.
Until next week. Until next week. Ganton, I believe that's Marcelik, going to be holding onto the bridge, waiting for the Unity transition to come through, and Orange is going to be blasting in the Roni. The point position of this squad as they start to make the trek from west to east across the bridge, going to be soaking up bullet after bullet after bullet as they at least try to create that distance. But Orange is going to be stopped dead in his tracks on the bridge. Marcelik going to be still trying to at least maneuver under the bridge and feed some information to his teammate Morpheus on the hillside. Dave, one of the teammates and the players that we saw in the previous season of the 303 Royale Pro League a few months ago. The more shots come out, the M416 just trying to apply the pressure onto Unity as they make this transition, but it's not really going to be that squad engagement that we would at least like to set up for entertainment's sake. No, just going to be trying to continue on that push over to phase 1, which, all things considered, Dave, is a pretty nasty phase 1 circle to have to deal with. All the way over to that far northeastern corner is it's going to be interesting for at least a few teams. Yeah, and you know, we see ENCE, they're going for that sneaky strategy. They're going to be all the way out on the east side of the coast. Nobody in front of them. They should be able to get all that trash loot down there on the edge of the coastline. And even Camp Bravo, if they were to scout that out and see that is free and clear. And I believe that is what the plan is right here. I got to say, though, ever since, you know, I've been on Lock Dizzy, I go on Sandhawk, I go on PUBG, and I go on the beach, and I just sit there and I chill. You know, Esquire, I just chill on the beach. Yeah.
I soak up those virtual rates, and then, you know, the losing starts to come. I'm like, listen, I don't care. All right, I don't care. I'm gonna stay here till the very end, and that's just been my days lately, just sitting on the beach, just Sandhawk. So I love it. Sandhawk used to be my least favorite map, but nowadays, favorite
Now
map.
it's the favorite. Well, our first blood is going to be going out right there as our first kill comes in for Navi. They pick up the point in Omakan Esports. It's going to be losing one early on here, but WTSG is lining up as well. Rahina Gaming going to be on the opposite side of the building, going to be trying to line up some shots. Both players certainly aware of the other team's presence as more and more shots start to ring out. 2 players of this Rahina squad going to be very much separated from the other 2 players of their team, so they need to be careful against the 4-stack of WTSG, but we haven't seen the battle break out just yet. In fact, WTSG really just trying to have Zhang hold them at bay as the other 3 worry about what lies down to the south. This is a very good and strategical play that could possibly be lining up WTSG to take control of phase 2 whenever that should come.
I mean, remember, they have 1 point, so honestly, they want to start to kind of turn up that heat. You know, they want to put that wood into the fire and just crank it up to the max and maybe get some kills, some points onto the leaderboard alongside placement points to kind of help boost them up here. I mean, they got 4 more games to go here today, so there's definitely a lot more PUBG to be had. It's not over yet, but this is kind of the point in time where you're like, okay, guys, first 2 games, not too strong, but it's okay. We got this. We can shake it off. And that's what I'm hoping to see here. As we are going to check out all of 1999. We're taking some shots right here. We're going to be getting the down onto Swifty Udyr.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Holly is actually Gustav playing under a different name here just for this tournament. So if you are a fan of FaZe Clan, or if you're a fan of Gustav, that is a beautiful shot to see as FaZe continues to at least find the capitalization on top of this squad. That's one more going to be going down. Here's going to be knocked down. Exalt loses one more in the process. They're getting third-partied on now. As Nalip goes down, Shiv going to be going down as well. Northern Lights are playing a disastrous role in the performance that Exalt is trying to achieve here in this match. Now left, just one player left, Dave. Monkey is trying to champion for his squad, but what do you do when you have the Northern Lights pushing down onto your presence, and also FaZe Clan trying to third party on top of this?
Yeah, I mean, Northern Lights in second place by only 1 point. This could be that 1 point that jacks them up there in that first place. And welcome to South Georgia. We were talking about them. They got to start getting a little more aggressive here if they want to recuperate these lost points. It looks like they're going to be making a push onto Tornado Energy right here. The opening shots happening. A doozy is going to be knocked down and out, bleeding on out. Example also connected on, forced to retreat back into cover and heal up some more.
Miracle going to be dropped in the process, though, and this could spell disaster for WTSG, who, again, Dave, like you said, they're not just trying to stay alive. They're not just trying to maintain in these matches. They need to start racking up some points. Losing one member early on here in the process is a hell of a way to at least not achieve that. But Iroh comes in, is able to capitalize on that knock. Down goes a doozy. The first kill point of game number 3 for WTSG is going to be secured. And at least for right now, they are going to be okay. They still have to worry about the forces, though, presenting hard off of the east. It's going to be Blaze Esports rolling in pretty aggressively off of the back of Example or Tornado, who starts to pull off across the road down to the south. So I really think, though, that the Blaze Esports squad is going to be the next fight that we see with WTSG. The question, though, Dave, will WTSG be able to recover fast enough and be prepped for the next fight?
Yeah, that is the question. Now, they do have the compounds to work with. They have some hard cover. They should be able to kind of recuperate, get their thoughts together after that insane battle that they were just in. And Blaze, they're probably not going to push on into it. There's just no need to. We're only in phase number 2. We got a little 2-2 split going on right now. 2 of their members do have some hard cover to themselves. So it looks like the 2-2 split, 2 members remaining in the compounds, making sure it's secure. The other 2 members just kind of roaming around the outskirts, maybe looking to get a couple knocks here and there and some information.
Knocks and information are the name of the game here. At least sub 15 minutes as this phase of the game, phase number 2, starts to close out further and further. 30 seconds on the clock as these teams try to at least solidify their immediate surroundings. Bard for WTSG is able to find Example, one of the 2 remaining members for that Tornado Energy squad. Uba as well is able to find the connections onto Exalt's remaining member Monkey. Down they go. Exalt going to be the first squad to be dropped out here in match number 3 on Sanhok.
Yep, 15 teams remaining. Got a couple people in the chat spamming their favorite teams, their emotes, and even a couple people saying Holly 1999. It's not Gustav, but Gustav's boots. Gustav is known for wearing and rocking the finest boots in the European region, and the boot gang was just too strong that they had to make their own boot character. I don't know if that makes any sense. People always troll me day in and day out. We do see a next circle pop, though. And it does look like we are going to have a run for the new zone down here in the south. Checking out Northern Lights, though, going to find themselves right smack in the middle of this new fight.
Feel pretty good about where they previously were. Now hugging the edges, rather, of phase number 3 of the game. Will be facing off against the likes of Tempest right in front of them on the hillside, and they do not have that high ground advantage. Tom Clib and the rest of the crew have been very aggressive, Dave, as far as the squads here in this lobby are concerned, and so I wouldn't expect them to shy away from the battle should they be able to get a lock onto any of the members of the Northern Lights, but push further up, solidify the position before looking to do so. DA, though, they're going to be finding the members of Team Liquid. Down goes James to kick off the fight. Another devastating loss here for this squad as we now tune in with the members of DA and find out how they're going to combat the likes of Liquid.
Görmüyorum, smoke'lar kapalı.
Koşan olursa söyleyeceğim. Kayada hala biri 1 numarada. Geri dönüyorlar. Hep kaçıyor. Bek attılar.
Siktirin gidin lan.
İki kişi kaldılar değil mi?
Mavi'nin
Evet,
noktasına göre.
Aldın kilidi aldın.
Yarım James.
Güzel
Helal
nakli bu
olsun.
arada.
Güzel. Evet.
Güngör.
Hala orada takılıyor şu an koşuyor. Hitte o headshot yemiş olması lazım. Markımda görüyor musun?
Ömer yerde. Ömer
Ömer
öldü.
Satesi ölür de.
3
Nerede?
kaskı var. 3 kaskı var. Markımda. Şuraya geçti orada. Kaya yaptı.
Anladım nerede olduğunu.
Göremeden.
DTTG 3 kaldı.
So they were able to hold back the members of Liquid for at least a little bit, but a massive fight is breaking out to the north. Unity absolutely got mopped by the likes of WTSG, who also started to get third-partied in by Blaze. The fight's not over yet, especially in between WTSG and Blaze, but also because of the third-party threat of El Gigantin now starting to rotate in from that northwestern spot. But all around the map, Dave, at least the rumble in the jungle, finally, it's kicking off. The heat, what did you say, Dave? It's moist. That word is absolutely triggering. But it certainly is hot here as every team is beginning to fight. FaZe Clan off to the far east, Adept down to the far south is now looking over to the Northern Lights members, and they've got to be careful. Everyone, except for maybe one or two teams, is currently engaged.
Yeah, Esquire. And one thing to note here, the new season, the most teams in the chat with the most spam, you know what? I send them a crate. And DA, they're getting so much spam in the chat that I sent them a care package. They're going to get a nice little all right smack on top of Smash. We'll see how that will play into factor moving forward here. Looking forward to seeing what they can do with that nice care package I sent them because the fans love them. Northern Lights, though, up here, the dueling Adapt once again. I mean, these two squads have been neck to neck on the overall leaderboards. Yes, we are only 2 games in it so far, but that's going to be the 4th and the 2nd place teams here trying to duke it on out. And who would have guessed Camille, the last remaining member for their team, alive once again, but can he get a 2nd place like he did last game, being a solo member? I don't know. It's going to be quite the challenge. There's 13 other teams still alive.
I'm going to miss the Tommel dances, Dave. I'm going to miss the Tommel dances until we get that lad on camera once again. WTSG going to be making the rotation around the western side of the border, at least of this phase, starting to clear out whatever teams might be lying in wait. But El Gigantin is also still trying to put into effect that drop down from the north that we've been talking about for the last few minutes or so. Blaze is going to be the immediate obstacle for them to have to worry about.
Blaze in it up all day here. They're going to be keeping El Gigantin out there on the outskirts at bay. Not going to allow them to push on into this new zone. Same thing with Welcome to South George. So all these teams kind of just doing their part here to gatekeep these squads on the outskirts. It does look like Liquid, they're down to Ibiza and Mixie here. Liquid, only 1 kill so far. I don't know how they're going to make it on into this new zone, as there's just no real space for them to kind of get on into here. I mean, maybe if they had a vehicle, they could just straight up YOLO send it, but I don't even think that will help them. Got DA down there to the south as well. So pretty much all these teams, El Gigantin, Liquid, they're just gate kept to the max right now on this edge of Northwest.
Liquid has really been a team today, at least, that has been having these tough positions and then not being able to rotate out of them. They've been pinched in. They've been, locked in by whether it be the blue zone, whether it be other teams, whatever it be, rather. Yeah. It just is absolutely playing disastrously for this squad, who now finds themselves with 2 members alive. El Gigantin, though, is still pushing down slowly but surely, trying to just avoid the lines of sight of Blaze Esports. But how much longer can they do so? They're already popping shots down towards the south at WTSG. This will absolutely draw the third-party presence over from Blaze as they start to rotate that direction.
Yeah, and, we have a huge cluster of teams right on top of each other right now. To just remain out on top here. They already got 6 kills this game, so they're doing a phenomenal job. Keep your eye on the kill feed as well, though, because we got 1st and 2nd place teams right smack on top of each other down there in the south on the edge. It's going to be Ents in the Northern Lights. With this new circle, they are not going to be favored, so they're going to have to make their way on into it. So both ends of the circle, north and south, is where the majority of the teams are going to be lying right now. No one's really safe for the time being. Only Omican, if I had to really pit a team to kind of win this game based off of positions alone. They have the hard cover, but everybody's going to be looking down to potentially crash this and take it for themselves. And if last game, or if this game is anything like last game, DA, we know they love to send it Esquire. They just full-blown send it, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now.
Well, I mean, hey, Dave, just like you, they recognize pretty much the only priority compound, the only compound at all inside of this circle is right next to them. So push up they shall and try to find these, but no, they start to flashbang themselves. But now the push comes out. Smash is going to be trying to find something. He's got the AUG prepped and ready, but will he be able to spot any of the members of Omican? No, because they are already in fast retreat around the opposite side of the compound, trying to avoid these lines of sight. In the process of this engagement, WTSG is going to be wiped out. In 12th place position they go. Another big misstep, at least for this squad, in game number 3. The first half of the day is done for WTSG, but will they be able to recover on the 3 rounds of Aaron? Go back up here to the northwest. It's going to be El Gigantin solo member versus the 2 left out for Team Liquid. El Gigantin about 2 minutes ago had 4 up and alive, and now with a few shots coming out from the M416 of Mixie, they have none. Out they go, 11th place. 10 teams now remain.
10 teams remaining. The outskirts of this circle just destroying everybody right now. Ends kind of running right into Navi, getting picked apart right here. They do still have 3 alive. They're actually losing one of their members. Going prone in the dirt, going for that same strategy. Looks like it is going to be working out right here. Ends down to just 2 remaining members. Same thing for Northern Lights. They will make it on their rotate as well. They only have the deep alive. So remember, this is the first and second place team so far in the lobby. And just like that, Ents will be annihilated, taken down and out in 9th position. Now we're down to only 8 teams remaining. Looks like FaZe, they're going to have 4 members alive. Holly just got knocked, but they should be able to get the revive. Blaze, 4 members alive as well. Next circle is going to pop, and it's going to be right on top of Omican and DA, the roommates of Sandhawk right now, sharing their Airbnb.
If it wasn't looking good in the previous circle for at least Omican, now it's definitely looking even better as far as the other teams are concerned. Outside of the circle to the far northeast, FaZe Clan is going to have to make epic strides to try to get past both Blaze Esports as well as the squads, Navi, etc. that start to at least sit down towards the south. Blaze going to be popping some shots in that direction, but also the recipient of some beautifully placed shots. Down goes Lipson in the process. Still going to be 3 up and alive, as Navi starts to get knocked down as well. So most of these teams at least have a bead, a lock on each other's location. It just comes down to whether or not they will be able to find the shots. Apocalypse going to be knocked down almost immediately. Huge shots coming in from the QBU of Fuzzface. To find that, we'll tune in now with members of FaZe and see how they're faring in the late game.
You guys, in a car.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Just go.
Yeah, we're going.
I'm healing. So right now shooting.
Yeah.
These guys south have to cross us now as well, boys.
Yeah.
From the compound. You could try and go to their side.
I think they're already on our side.
Tango's crossing.
You're gonna be close.
We have to kill this guy.
Stood in front of me.
Down left.
All is broke.
One left, right, 1.
2.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Wow. Just like that, teams getting annihilated left and right. And we were watching them. FaZe done. I mean, they had such a challenging push right there to make their way on into this new circle. And you know what? It just got the best of them. Looking around, though, we still got a solo member for Northern Lights. We got the Deep still alive. Going to be down there in the south. 1 kill. Just going to be hoping and praying to the circle gods that the next circle will favor them. We are going to have circle 8. And then, of course, 9 is right smack in the middle. DA, though, still alive. 4 members. But Esquire, right now, the fight is in the north.
That is in the north, and Team Liquid is going to be dropped out because of it. In 5th place position, they do exit. 4 teams now going to be remaining, 11 players alive. With 2 players for Omican Esports, we'll see what they're going to be able to do here. They previously held 4 inside of this compound, but now it's going to be DA that looks to try to act as a major obstacle in the way of this Omican squad. Going to be 1 player left, I believe, just cash register out in the blue zone, trying to stay alive. Ryan came out swinging here in the later part of this game after they were able to take out FaZe Clan. That really started to open things up for them on the eastern side of this circle. And there it is. DA 6mo is able to find the final kill onto Omican. Down goes cash register, the 4th place team to be eliminated. And now 3 remain. Big damage going to be applied onto the rock where Nookie is trying to seek into the cover. That's DA applying all of this pressure. DA fans in chat, you better get those emotes ready because your squad is looking to try to pick up a chicken dinner here in match number 3. But will they be able to find it is the big question. Rahina is going to be trying to do whatever they can to hold this squad back. We'll tune in now and see how these 3 members alive are going to do it.
Joona tappaa koppi.
Jäi.
Hyvä.
Ai koppi jäi.
Okei. Joppi avoimella.
Savussa. Savus 2. 2 puolella, samalla puolella.
Vittu se pääsi.
Oh, DA.
Sori mummokaali.
Get your DAs in chat. I mean, Dave, if I had a DA emote, I'd be blasting it right now.
I mean, hey, the more emotes, the more care packages. Am I right, Esquire? Get those bits going. DA getting that chicken dinner coming into this game. They were in 6th place with 12 kills or 12 points, tied with FaZe Clan for that 5th place. But the chicken dinner and the kills that they were able to acquire this game, 6 kills to be exact, doubling their kills, definitely doubling their points. They're going to definitely be up there in that top 3, top 4 situation. Man, Sandhawk and DA, they just go together like peanut butter and jelly, baby.
Yeah, same with Action in the 303 Esports Pro League, Dave. I mean, these games have been absolutely insane. And I know that, that's been said in the past. It's like, oh, man, this is the most exciting PUBG game I've ever seen. No, for real, though, these have been some very action-packed PUBG games, especially on Miramar and then carrying over into Sanhok. But that's going to be the first half of the evening done and dusted, Dave. We got 3 more rounds of the OG, well, sort of. Erangel going to be coming up next, and we'll see. Do we have an interview? I think we do have one member of DA, Sixmo, going to be coming in and joining us.
Sixmo.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man? DA, chicken dinner. My goodness, it must feel good here. Last game, I forget who was the last one alive. It was Smash, right? The 1v1v1 on Miramar.
On the first game, yeah, it was Smash.
Yeah. Like when the team comes down to having a solo member alive, what's the strategy at that point? Like, what are the team comms like? What do you guys? How do you help out? How do those dead members on the squad help out that solo member? Like, what kind of information do you feed them?
I mean, when it's usually just one person alive from the team, it's just there's not many comms. It's just mostly silence. He's playing for placements because he won't be able to take down like a group of team. So he's just playing for placement, and if he can get a couple kills, that's all.
Easy.
Totally. So with Northern, or rather with DA, in the first 2 games, sort of not picking up massive points, but now coming into Sandhawk, walking away with the chicken dinner, walking away with what I believe 16 points in addition to what you've been able to get. What's the game plan rolling into Erangel?
I mean, the game plan is always to win at the beginning of each game. But when things go wrong, sometimes you have to snake, like we do usually, and just get as many points as you can. Like that's the game plan. But at the beginning of each game, the plan is to win.
You got a lot of fans in the chat. Anything you like to say to the DA supporters?
Yeah, destekleyen herkese teşekkürler. Dealul spamlamayı unutmayın.
Easy.
That's all.
Oh, just like that. Keep spamming those DA emotes.
Yeah,
Keep
that's what I
cheering
said.
them on. We're gonna have 3 more games to go, so we're gonna send it to a little bit of a break here. And when we come back, we'll have some scores, we'll have some pizza rolls, and we'll have some orange juice. Don't go nowhere.
Lift my feet off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away, I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my voice, to see you, and I'll go. And I'll go.
And good evening. If you're just joining us here at the 303 Royale Pro League Season 2 for the European region, my name is Esquire, joined by Mustache Dave on the casting desk. It's been an epic set of 3 games so far, but we've got 3 more coming your way just after this. Before we get there, Dave, let's go ahead and talk about the leaderboards. Let's talk about how things are shaping up, because definitely, especially after game number 3 on Sandhawk with the DA win coming in, there's been some movement.
It's actually insane, Esquire. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't even talk because it was crazy, these points and the difference. You know, Northern Lights, I believe they got 3rd place last game because of their solo member that was alive at the end. And you know what? That helped them so much on the leaderboards because they were able to overthrow Northern Lights. They're going to have 47 points. Ent's going to be in 2nd place with 38 points. Tempest in 3rd place with 32 points. DA, baby, 4th place with 28 points. My goodness. I mean, things are just insane, Esquire. I mean, if you told me this morning, hey, you know what? Northern Lights, EA, going to be top 5 day 1 of the 303 League EU, I'd have been like, Esquire, what are you doing with yourself? Because I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're playing too much pocket pool. But no, that's not the case. Northern Lights up there at the top. DA up there at the top. And you know what? Welcome South George, 10th place. Omican, 9th place. Blaze Esports, 11th place. I mean, my goodness, these are some teams that, you know, I would have definitely have bet all of my bits on to definitely take it home on day number 1. And you know me, I got huge bits. I got bits for days. I mean, I'm the bit lord, the bit king.
The bit lord, bit king. Okay.
Bit king.
I respect it, Dave. I respect it. But I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the head there with that fact that the leaderboards definitely look a little bit different than what you would have expected rolling into this tournament. And that's exciting for multiple reasons. I think one of which is it sets up the next 2 weeks. If things don't change from how they're currently trending, it sets up the next 2 weeks to be very active as far as what previously some of the top teams in the European region are going to do to try to claw back at the spots that they thought maybe they held rolling into week number 1. But it's not over and done with yet, Dave. Like you mentioned, we've got 3 weeks of play and 3 more games to go through on the evening, all going to be played out on Erangel. A map that has seen at least a few changes since the inception of it all, but for all intents and purposes is virtually the same, Dave. This is going to be the map that more teams are comfortable on, at least for the majority of these squads.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly better. It's better. Erangel 2.0, in my
Just a good
opinion,
map, dude. Just a good
yeah, they
map.
had little changes here and there, but those little changes, they add up to me. And you know, the beaches, they've been changed. They got new dips and new cover. They got those barricades, the barbed wire, even scattered throughout the map. There's like little trenches, new trenches here in there. So I love it. And you know what else I love? Season 7. I saw a trailer. I believe the Vikendi remaster is with season 7, if I'm not mistaken, with the train.
I mean, yeah, they kind of leaked it, right?
They leaked it. The Mosin. Supposedly, there's going to be a new weapon called the Mosin.
Yeah, the Mosin. I mean, here's the thing, Dave. A lot of people picked up the Car 98 when PUBG came out and said, "Man, I love this gun. Like, it's kind of like a Mosin." And now that players might be getting a Mosin, I think a lot of people are going to be very happy. The Mosin, before PUBG came out, was a pretty significant gun, and a lot of the kind of like, you know, DayZ type games and games of that type of genre. So I think a lot of players definitely have a special place in their heart for that gun.
I mean, you got the Mosin. I mean, and I believe there was a submachine gun teased. I don't know if it's a new one or maybe just some new attachments. There's going to be like a dinosaur skin that you just need to drop your bits on to purchase, because who doesn't want a full dino skin?
Yeah,
And I think we're gonna have a restart.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and restart. I think it
Our
might.
spectator seal. Yeah, he couldn't get into the map, so we're just gonna send out a whole restart. We're gonna get the confirmation. Not trying to ruin anyone's parade here, but we need our observer. We need our observer in order to bring the enjoyment to the people. So, yep, we're gonna send it to a quick break while we sort this out. Day number 1, 303 EU League Royale number 2, sponsored by EWire, everybody. Sponsored by Esquire. We'll be right back.
Lift my feet off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away, I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my voice, see you. And I'll go I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my vote, to see you, and I'll go.
Yo! Oh, that's what you love to see. I love it. I know EU loves hearing me shout into the mic. Make sure, you know, that's Mustache Dave _ on Twitter. You can go follow me, go send me some nasty DMs, or, you know, take some clips of me saying random things. And of course, Esquire, your Twitter.
At the real
ESQ.
ESQ. Make sure to go check us out, guys, on Twitter. Open up a dialogue about PUBG, whatever you want to talk about. We are definitely
You've been
game
streaming lately.
for
You've been
that.
streaming too.
Been streaming lately, Dave, but not PUBG. Not PUBG. You know.
It's
Yeah,
good
not
though.
PUBG.
It's
No
good.
leaks, no leaks, no leaks.
It's always popping. It's always
It is
popping,
good.
though. I'll
You
say
know,
that.
David, it's
always
good to be
popping.
diverse. It's good to do multiple things that you enjoy, get that variety, because as they say, variety is the spice of life. Let's get in, though, to game number 4. It's going to be popping here right quick.
Right quick. So I think we had to make the remake because we had gliders in the last match. You know, that's my fault. I told them to turn on gliders because, you know, I thought that was what the competitive scene needed for 2020. But then, you know, we got Apples, we got Witty in the back. They're like, nah, cut it, and cut Dave while you at it, because you know what, we're not gonna have gliders here, not in our league, not in any league. I mean, honestly though, that's me joking. But I'm not joking about gliders really being in competitive Esquire. I really think they should be.
Hey, well, you know, everyone has their own thoughts and opinions, Dave. And
Don't you
leave it at
agree?
that.
You agree?
Hey.
You told me off stream you agree with me saying.
You know what,
that
Dave?
we
I'm going to
should
be the
have
devil's
gliders.
advocate here, and I'm going to say maybe we shouldn't have gliders in competitive. But I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the stance. Let's get into
Sure, you
game
told
number
me
4,
last night
though.
we should, but it's okay.
No, Dave, I didn't talk to you last night. You don't talk to me until we actually cast together. Playing is going to be on the eastern side of Erangel, going from south to north. It is going to be a bit of an interesting playing path, given that a lot of the western priority locations will somewhat be cut off. It's going to be a little bit further of a transition over to that side of the map, should your team's priority lie there. However, all things considered, we're going to have a pretty standard, at least loot phase of competitive PUBG here on Erangel until phase 1 does pop, give us a little bit better of an indicator as to where we're going to be going.
Yeah, and make sure, you know, we got 3 more games to go. Erangel, and then at the end we'll have a nice little closing remarks from 303 Apples, discussing some announcements, recent announcements. I'm not gonna leak them. I'll let Apples be the main show, but make sure you don't go nowhere for that either, because it's gonna be some important things that you're gonna want to hear.
Important things that you're going to want to hear, but also important things that you're going to want to be seeing on your screen right now. There's a lot of teams at least floating over one another right now, certainly near Rozhok and Watertown. As you continue to at least trend down towards the south, it's just team stacked on team stacked on team stacked on team. This is a product of a few things, probably a little bit more so the fact that the plane was so favored over towards the eastern coast. But regardless, phase number 1 is going to be popping and centered directly on top of the field. It's going to prove to be a bit of a hotbed of destruction all around for these squads.
I mean, just crazy things erupting everywhere. Yes, now, like you mentioned, we got Omican up there. They got to be splitting it with their neighbors. But DA getting the chicken in her last game. They're not pumping the brakes. You know what? They're going to be headhunting Ents right now. Ents going to be right behind them in that second place, or not second place, but right behind them. You know what I'm saying? In Raw talk, we're going to have Tixu holding these angles right now, not trying to make a move, make a sound. They're going to be setting the trap, the spider trap here. And hopefully DA get caught in the webs of Ents. We'll have to find out.
We will have to find out. Surprising enough, that wasn't where the first blood of the game might be. It's actually going to be on the coast, a little bit south, about a couple hundred, or rather a few kilometers. It's none other than a member of this Rahina esports squad that is going to be knocked down, not even a gun to their name, and they will be the first blood. A flush going to be coming in for the members of Tornado Energy. Melman picks up the first kill of game number 4, the first point for the squad as they continue on in phase number 1. But we saw a lot of commotion all around, Dave, and going back to that somewhat of a battle, somewhat of a hot contest in Razak, this is going to be a determinative factor, I think, in how DA will continue throughout not just this week and the remaining games of the day, but also into next week. This is a very pivotal point for this squad. If they come up with a victory here in Razak, I think it will set them up beautifully for at least the rest of the day.
Rahina means great victory. And that's what they're trying to do here, get a great victory in this first angle map of the EU side of the 303 League 2, season number 2. And, you know, they got some fans showing up for them in the chat as well. You'd love to see it. We got some blazing in the chat, you know, some fires, a lot of DA, some Ents. But if I had to take like a emote count, I'll definitely say Blaze and DA are like right there, right there. I mean, where's the phase? Where's the liquid? I mean, they need support too. Where's the Nabu support?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of phase. I don't think I've seen a lot of liquid just yet. But here's the thing, chat. You have this game and 2 more to turn that around, and I think you definitely should. Phase 1 continues on, and it looks like the 2 teams, at least cohabitating in Razak, have been able to spread out and somewhat adjust to this more crowded area than they would have hoped. Rotations already starting to come in as well. Blaze Esports trying to shore up a position a little bit south of Central here in phase number 1. Tempest as well want to be rolling up just off to the western side of Prison, at least for now. Where they want to stop is anyone's guess at this stage in the game, but if they continue on towards the north, it's more likely than not they will run directly into the members of Blaze.
Yep, and you know, Blaze, they're down here in the bunkers looking for some loot. Tempest might drive right on over them, and you kind of mentioned if FaZe are going to be near this prison area as well, possibly doing some scouting. They might opt to third party this right now, as Mill from Tempest going to start taking shots out here with the Mill, trying to connect on this member of Blaze. These shots could erupt, and FaZe might opt to third party this. They're not too far from this fight.
Tommel able to find at least one connection onto the members of Blaze outside of the Warehouse Hall of Fame position. Pixel going to be rolling up as well for the members of Tempest to try to provide some much needed added pressure onto the squad. However, the split comes out. Alamo going to be taken up by 2 of the members of the Blaze team as more and more squads at least start to transition this way. At this point in the game, the Blue Zone has begun that approach towards the edges of phase number 1. And our teams down south on Military Island have already crossed the bridges and will be trying to solidify positions of their own. Blaze Esports rolling in now, trying to reunite as close to one another as they can, rather, currently holding as a 2-2 split. And this is a 2-2 split that's not going to be too dangerous for them. They're definitely within range and within line of sight to provide that much needed support to each other. Another not going to be coming out though, and a flush as Exalts Nailup with the M416 is able to find one onto Adept. Will they be able to find the others? Not just yet, as they are currently rolling into Yasnaya, but shots now start to at least come out. Some pop shots rotating back and forth in between the members of Ensign DA.
What a great time to be alive right now. We got Machine Gunner in the chat. Hey, what do you guys think about my picture, by the way, with the red eye? Is it weird, or is Esquire replacing me as Mustache Esquire weird? I don't know. Let us know.
You're done,
on
dude.
those,
Get this guy out of here, man. Get this
Get this guy out of here.
I think you look like the Terminator,
next week
dude.
you can have a mustache and the red eye. Then I'm gonna have to throw something at you.
Hey Dave, who you gonna shoot with that eye, dude? That laser, man. So cool, dude. So cool. What are you shooting?
It's 2020.
All the
dude.
haters? Are you shooting all the haters with that laser coming out of your eye?
I'm shooting all the haters with my laser eye. Get out of here.
Just kidding, dude. I love it, man. I love it. Unity is certainly not loving it, though. They're going to be finding a unfortunate knock onto their teammate Orange as he is met with the shots of Tempest, Clib, the SLR ringing true for this squad as they continue to try to release fish in a barrel. This squad, however, they are now met with the resistance coming back from Quizzy of this Unity team, seeing if he can't put enough pressure to send the members of Tempest back to open up a res opportunity onto Orange. That's looking like a dire opportunity, though, a dire decision to have to make, and they will be pushing that direction. And Nuctive can be coming up for the ultimate save, seeing if he can get there with the dossier cover.
Yeah, I mean, Unity, they're in 14th place so far after the first half of day number 1, so it does look like they're trying to get a little more aggressive, but it's definitely not paying in their favor, as we are going to see Orange's clown face just staring at Noctive right into the eyes, and that was a bad omen. Going to be tossing out a smoke right there, but getting chunked down and taken down themselves. We got Set out here in the distance with Queasy. Little split going on. I don't know how they're gonna regroup with one another. I mean, Unity, maybe it's the clown mask that they got on, but it is one heck of a clown fiesta when it comes to the squad here today. And I would like to see them kind of make the turnaround and wrap around, and hopefully, you know, with their last 2 remaining members able to clutch it out, because there's still 16 teams in the lobby, so it's really early on right now in this game.
Yeah, it certainly is. And bear with us, guys. I believe we do have a client crash on our spectator, so we will get them back into the game and loaded up very quickly. However, Dave and I still have the game going, so we will talk about at least what has progressed so far up until the about 8-minute mark of the game, and what we expect to come out as we see phase 2 pop in just a few. Quick update. We see the members of Unity. You guys don't see it at home, but we'll tell you, Unity has been eliminated. They got wiped out by the members of Tempest in 16th place position. But up until this point, Dave, I mean, we really just saw fairly standard rotations. Military Island, Sosnovka Island, head up towards the north. Don't really cross anything rather too vulnerable, and try not to give anything too much away. But phase 2 has popped, and it's taken us now down to the southern side of phase number 1. Interesting thing about this circle is it encompasses pretty much all 15 teams remaining. No crazy rotations are going to have to take place from here, and teams might become a little bit comfortable not having to move.
Yeah, I mean, that is insane. I feel bad for Unity. I mean, they had all 4 members of Tempest alive, all with their own vehicles. They saw the last 2 remaining members from Unity, and they just sent it. They were honking their horns. They were blasting the music. They ran them over. They splattered them down in the grass, and they're taken down and out. I mean, the action was just insane. We got Omikin, 4 members alive, all going to be taking some shots out there onto the 2 members of Welcome to South George. Welcome to South George with a 2-2 split. They're going to be holding a nice centralized position. Like you mentioned, Esquire, though, all 15 teams are going to be on inside this circle. And one thing to kind of note, to kind of follow up on from very early on, circle number 1, our Rosshawk teams, ENCE and DA, they haven't moved a muscle. So I have to assume whoever wins that fight, moving on out of Rosshawk, their loot situation, their ammo situation, their med situation, I mean, how good is it going to be? Because they've only been looting maybe 3-4 buildings. And as we see, DA, we're getting back to the game, DA actually going to be getting 2 knocks onto him.
So it's going to be at least a solid pickup. Whether or not they're going to be able to capitalize on that, time will tell. But a few teams have begun to make the movements and really suffer because of that. Over here in Rozhok, it's going to be a clash of the 2 squads that entered into the fray at the beginning of the match. ENCE versus the members of DA. Just going to be one lone member of ENCE left alive here as his teammate Rusted Mark continues to bleed out. Likely not going to... Ooh, he's going to be able to stick the res through. Oh! Big nade coming through. Somehow does not do enough damage onto the final member of ENCE to close out ENCE's entire team. But it does finish up Rusted Mark and the knock position. Down he goes. A good effort coming out from the final member of ENCE to stay alive. But he's not going to be able to do it. Takes out Smash in the process, but is unable to find Mitrelius. And down they go. Although, who can really say who won Rozhok, Dave? I don't think it's safe to say either team, regardless of the fact that DA still remains alive here on the northwestern side.
Agree to disagree. Agree to
Okay.
disagree.
Hey,
Some
fair
would
enough.
say. Some would say agree to disagree. I think DA. I mean, they got Hulk smashed and they lost smashed, but they still got 3 members alive, and they're gonna be in this circle. So depending on where this next shift goes, I guess that's when those other people that would say if who won or who didn't win would really come out on top. Because if it doesn't favor Raw Talk, then yeah, those people who do say no one wins, I have to agree with them.
Over here, WTSG have been at least somewhat strangers to battle so far in this match. They've locked down a position, but start to hear shots in the surrounding areas. It's going to be Team Liquid that begins to traverse towards their location from the southwest, currently in a 2-2 split, holding on, while James and Ibiza start to roll closer and closer. Shots begin to come out onto the members of Team Liquid, keeping them at bay from downtown. It's all the way across to the east. Tornado Energy going to be the first squad to spot out this Liquid rotation. And just as phase number 3 pops and takes us up towards the north, we're also going to be seeing some pretty quick rotations coming from the teams left out of the circle now from the south.
Again, I was tweeting like a month ago, and someone got mad at me for saying how like players need to diversify in 2020. And James and Ibiza, they started streaming on what is that? Doyo, I think, is the streaming service. They are so,
in China.
Yeah, in China, they are so popular, and that's exactly what I've been talking about. I mean, diversifying, streaming, increasing your brand awareness out there. I mean, they have like 300,000 followers on those services, and they're well known. If they go to China, they're superstars, and that's why I like to see some more of these players start to do and utilize here, especially, you know, with everybody at home these days on lockdown and stuff. Stream, you know, just stream.
Hey, why not? You know, if you got it, might be someone out there that wants to watch. As we see phase number 3 continue on here, the members of FaZe Clan have started to rotate off of the dip that they were previously holding on to. However, another squad has them in their sights. It's going to be Omikin Sports, who drops some nades down on top of them. Uba. Uba cash register is going to be the first person to claim a knockdown onto the FaZe Clan squad. Will be knocked in the dip as more pressure starts to fly in this direction. But it's not just coming from the north, where Omikin Esports is currently positioned, but also down from the south, where Tempest and a few other squads have begun to encroach from. FaZe needs to be very careful right now with how this plays. They're pretty much fishing a barrel should another squad come up.
Yeah, and you know, Cash is still back there trying to maybe get the confirm, but with the other squad mates from Omikin kind of pulling back, going back to their compound, opting to go for their cover. Looks like Cash is going to have to listen to the team comms and pull off as well. I guess they figured it's just not worth making the push on over the hill, that crest, because then the 3 members of FaZe will be looking right in their direction. Plus, it's such early in this map that maybe that risk is just not worth it quite yet. But they definitely know FaZe is down there in that dip. They know for sure after that knock.
Digital Athletics going to be having maybe some visitors here shortly as another squad is rotated over towards the northwestern side of phase number 3. It's the Northern Lights, 4 strong, versus the 3 up currently of DA. As they continue on here, rotating around that northwestern side, they are likely to be spotted out by at least Sixmo, who can relay this information over to his teammates. Definitely saw the heads right there of the Northern Lights and will begin to at least tell his teammates where to prep for as the Northern Lights squad approaches. But look how they're splitting off, Dave. This is very interesting to see this. They still have an Overwatch player kept behind off to the far west, but then they're also sending Bachelin over to the northwest, approaching towards the north to possibly collapse on this DA squad.
Oh, Battlin's lining up the shots on the Sixmo with the mini is going to be unloading from our Northern Lights on the outskirts with the off angles of playing perfect. Going to be making the breach on into here as well. Lowell, though, going to be laughing their way with this 1 point. Battlin's, we listened to them on the interview. They got confidence, Esquire. They are ready to rock and roll here. Bon Jovi style. Battlin's going to be tossing out a frag into that little shack. A little building. The bar is going to be blocking it. Battling and Spyro looking to get the plugs onto the last 2 members of DA. Can they do it? Lowell will be connecting on Spyro.
Currently sitting in a 2v2 scenario with Spyro to be bleeding out. If they can get Spyro back up and on his feet, they could possibly take the numbers ahead of DA. Will that happen though? The shots start to at least come out. Mitra going to be staying alive for now. 5 kills to their name for DA. But they've got to make some pretty epic moves here to continue on in this match. One not going to be coming out. Down goes Lowell. Now just going to be Mitra, one of the newest additions to this DA roster. Has been around for several months, but still one of the newest to the lineup, is left now as a solo player to try to find something to do. Northern Lights, they've swarmed, they've at least taken control of the northwestern side of the circle, but what do they have to do going forward? They still have to rotate down to the southeast, even if they're able to find the final member of DA.
Yep, looks like they are going to have 2 kills. They're going to have 3 members alive, and like you mentioned, one more member of DA. They're going to be riding right past them. 3 members in the US going to be trying to dodge these bullets, but this is just the beginning of their journey because they have no safe route on into this new circle, and they're going to find out firsthand. With that added pressure, I hope and I pray that they don't crash into a tree, run over a rock, or flip their US up here in this dangerous terrain.
It's immediately going to be met with shots coming from the south, as well as the north. Navi's got them pinned down, and it's a little bit of a valley with only a US to hide behind as more shots erupt over towards the east. Mitra still trying to at least advance into this phase 4 circle as deep as possible. Proposition, and up in a massive explosion will be DA's hopes and dreams in this match. They won't be able to continue on, and it's going to be a bit of a fall from grace as far as their massive trek towards the top of the leaderboards continues here today. 2 more games, though, for them to stack up this point, so we'll see what DA can do. Rahina now going to be taking casualties, going to be knocked down to just 1 left alive as Team Liquid has them in their sights.
Rahina, meaning great victory awaits you. Time trying to go for a revive onto Nookie out here, using this tree, using the smoke as cover. Athlons and Spyro, though, also on the defense here, is trying to survive some more. They're getting shot from out there in the distance. Best lock, known to connect these shots at this range. Trying to confirm some more points on over to the side of Navi, but also needs to focus on repositioning right now into this new zone.
Will be losing Vestalage in the process. Has to worry about the members of Northern Lights still playing disastrous roles here on the western side of the circle. But they soon will be met with a force of resistance coming from the likes of Rahina Game Stars, who have now been able to find one, however, lose Nookie in the process. It's a massive brawl all around the map. And Dave, this is a product of Phase 2's circle shift. It pretty much included all of these teams. They were so close to one another and had really nowhere to rotate to get to safety, to get to those more priority locations that they had anticipated coming into this game. But how things have changed so drastically for these squads, and with this next shift as well, a lot more rotations have to come out. I fear for any team left out of the phase right now.
I mean, this shift is perfect. We saw just for a moment the circle, the map. Liquid, 4 members alive. Last game we were kind of questioning, you know, that momentum was happening with Liquid. They got 4 members alive. They got 1 kill right now. They're going to be all safe on the west here, and they're just doing everything in their power to gatekeep all these fights, all these teams trying to make the rotate on into this new circle. As we're looking out here, Shiv, the last remaining member, taken down and out. Adapts looking to remain on top of the leaderboards here in their top 5 position in this game.
So another loss for Exalt. Could be spelling disaster for their squad, now leaving us with 11 teams remaining, 33 players alive at the 20-minute mark of match number 4. WTSG going to be sitting comfortably up here towards the north. The crate going to be dropping in between them and dead center circle. A dangerous task to go out and grab it, and it looks like they won't be doing that just yet. The Blaze rolls up to secure the kill onto Tempest that they'd been able to get the knockdown onto. And out goes Pixel to the hands of Lipson. Another kill point stacked up for that squad, leaving a solo player left alive for this Tempest team. And he's immediately going to be spotted out and taken care of. Apocalypse with the Mini 14 eliminates Tempest in 11th place.
Taken down and out. 10 teams remaining. We got FaZe out there on the northern east. 4 members alive, still in that dip. I do believe Omican going to be up there on the high ground. Page going to be connected on third partied. Not even able to make their way on over that crash. Looks like they're not going to opt to crash directly into FaZe, but instead opt to hop into vehicles and take the detour, the scenic route on the street. They will be getting shot by not only Welcome to South George, but also Blaze. Cash register able to get into a somewhat of a decent centralized position right here, but how long are they going to be able to survive?
A pretty important send for Cash Register of Omican Esports. Whether or not he can pull in his other 2 teammates from the edge of the circle is another story. FaZe Clan still going to be holding on to the northeast, while Tornado Energy, a little bit south of center, continue to maintain that 360-degree field of vision on their opponents. Keep everyone at bay is the name of the game if Tornado Energy wants to walk away with a chicken dinner here in this match. Northern Lights going to be dealt with. Team Liquid's Ibiza ends their journey here in this match, dropping us down now to, well, 7 teams remaining with Rahina Gaming going out as well. FaZe Clan now starting to take some casualties. Tornado Energy, Dave, I mean, they're just being active. Like I said, their heads on a swivel, which is exactly how you have to play the center of the circle.
And they're going to be swiveling all day long. Now we're going to have Welcome to South George here, also on the edge of the circle. Their compound not going to be in this new circle, but they are attempting to gatekeep Elgiganten Gaming, who are on the outskirts of the blue zone. They haven't been doing too hot here today, and they're going to be kind of in a tricky situation. Are they going to have to run through Welcome to South George in order to make their way on into this new circle, or will Welcome to South George rotate on into the edge? I don't know. We'll have to find out. FaZe are going to be third party in this as well, trying to connect the shots onto Elgiganten. So looking at this new circle, not a lot of teams are going to be favored. A lot of hard cover, such as Team Liquids and Welcome to South George's cover, no longer in play. So we got a nice open field and some trees.
Elgiganten left to head along to the northern side of the circle, which is similar to the position that they have found themselves throughout the first half of the evening. Now going to be shifted on pretty drastically here. Phase number 6 is not going to be easy for them to continue on with. The blue zone on their back and WTSG on their front side. Elgiganten Gaming will be dropped out of this match in 7th place position. This opens up a little bit more of an opportunity, especially with the chaos erupting over here with Team Liquid for WTSG to drop down to the south. But now Liquid has to make some moves. They've lost K-Mine. He's going to be out of the game. What can Mixie do? What can Jeems do? What can Ibiza do to stay alive, especially in the light of Tornado Energy just up the hillside from their current position? Nades will fly to try to apply some pressure in that direction. We'll try to maybe see if we can get some cons.
Left side. Lock the left guy.
No. Knock the right guy.
I'm on the first dead.
I got fragged. This tree pinged the smoke tree, right side of the smoke. Peeking you.
Yeah, I should have blocked the first dead.
Yeah, sure.
What happened with Game Man? Why was he in your car?
He wasn't in a car, but he...
Not in a car was the story she wrote here. Unfortunate, but definitely a solid game for the squad here. 6th place. Looking forward, though, we are going to have FaZe still alive with 4. We got Holly, Mr. Molly in the back with those nice black-on-black boots, trying to survive and get their first chicken dinner here in the 303 League. Omen going to be right in between them in that sandwich, that salami sandwich with some mayo. Blaze down there in the south as well. Welcome to South George, though, pushing out of their compound, utilizing the edge of the blue to their advantage. Next circle does pop, though. Welcome to South George have to continue out the edge here and not get backstabbed as they make their way on into this circle. Time after time, it's just not favoring them.
I mean, hey, WTSG is doing pretty good at just that, Dave. They're taking these opportunities, they're taking these tasks in front of them, and they're just checking them off the list, checking them off the list, checking them off the list, and now they continue on. It's still not going to be an easy game for them. They've got to fight from west over to east and get to safety, but as time rolls by, more and more of these threats inside of the circle are being dealt with. Blaze is Lipson going to be continuing to frag out. Down goes another member of Omikin. This is going to be that first member of Omikin to dive into the center of the circle. Cash register going to be going down and out, leaving just 2 alive for this Omikin squad. T-Bone and Basque need to champion because a big amount of pressure is going to be applied on their location very shortly. Blaze Esports down to the south, and FaZe Clan has rotated all 4 members now into the northern half of this phase. Phase number 7, Dave, is not going to let up anytime soon. Welcome to South George as they enter into the southern side of the circle are only going to provide more chaos to the action.
I mean, some would say cashing out early over there on the side of Omikin. FaZe, though, 4 members alive. They have yet to have the numbers advantage coming into late game so far here in the 303 League. This could be their game. Currently sitting on only 1 kill. But they are going to be dominating the north right now, clearing out, making sure there's no snakes out there in the grass that might be able to backstab them moving forward. They know Omikin is out there on the road. They hear the shots down there in the south between Blaze and Welcome to South George. Welcome to South George, though, also with 4 members alive, so they definitely have that numbers advantage. will they get connected on though? They don't have much cover. There's about maybe 3 trees over here. Blaze, they have a nice little ridge to work with. I really like Blaze's position. They also have 2 vehicles that they could utilize as hard cover moving forward. Welcome South George though. They are in such a challenging position right now though. They need to connect their shots onto Blaze.
They definitely do. They're playing off the more difficult position left in the circle held by one of these 4 teams and are already starting to feel that right now. With Lipson going off once again, the SLR continues to ring true for this player, and he's able to find a nice knockdown onto Bard of WTSG. 3 going to be up and alive and on their feet for that squad as they try to attempt to res onto their fallen teammate. Will they be able to get it? It's looking like it's likely, but still having to worry about the blue zone now on their back. 30 seconds time until that blue zone push will come out. So get the smokes deployed, trying to create as much concealment as possible before that time comes. FaZe Clan continues to maintain that firing squad up here towards the north as Blaze has the crossfire completely pinned down. I mean, Dave, looking at WTSG, I don't see where they are going to be able to go. Certainly there aren't many options, but any option they take is going to be met with much resistance.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they're doing. They're connecting their shots. If they get the opportunity to take some shots on the Blaze, they need to get it. We do have the initial knock. It looks like Welcome South George, all 4 members are going to be pushing across this open field, trying to get to that cover. But FaZe from up there in the north will be spotting this one. Let's go listen on into FaZe and see what they have to say in the final matchup.
Blue is moving, boys. That's hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and troll him.
They died to blue. They died to blue. Check died to blue.
I can potentially crawl in here.
Iroh got knocked.
Iroh knocked. That was the guy that knocked.
I'll get in the tree, green marker.
He knocked me from orange, right?
I'll get you if you just keep crawling.
No, I can't. I'm dead to blue.
Okay.
There's one guy left. Two guy top.
Two up.
Yeah, two
South was dead.
Next one, star, boys.
On the east side.
We have the star. We have the star.
They're both on the other side.
There should be Omaken, I think.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, Macken died in the shack.
No,
Stop it
no,
already.
This is BL set. I don't have any smokes. Do you guys have?
No.
Oh,
I
That's
want
fine. That's fine. This is chill.
It's our side of the road, so it's...
Yeah.
I was playing left out here, late.
You're a little bit too far down, I'd say. They'll see me before you can do anything. You have to be a little bit higher up.
Probably gonna try and get to the buff stop.
Oh.
I see he's knocked.
I'm going for a risk. I mean, his blue coming. I don't know.
One is at the bus stop.
I don't know if I can crawl around me.
Nah, just go, I think. You can't.
Do you have utility, I'd say?
Yeah, I have one smoke, bro. Take it.
Yeah.
They can be counted.
Maybe try it. Oh.
Guy with no helmet at the bus stop.
Where is he? Do you need for circus too?
Yeah, I dropped all.
I don't have boost. No.
I only have one smoke, right?
Watch out for the left lane.
On the ridge behind the bus stop, yes.
Yeah,
Leave
I
soon,
think
right?
they're both there.
One got knocked.
Okay.
Oh, they deny. What the fuck?
And there it is, a concession of first place coming in for the members of Blaze, which brings in a big chicken dinner for the members of FaZe Clan. Only 2 kills to the name, but that is going to be a 12-point takedown nonetheless. Dave, a pretty crazy end of the game right there, especially when that one-tap headshot came out onto 8C.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, you know, they got the chicken dinner. That's what's important here. You know, placement points are heavy on these leaderboards. You would have liked to have seen them to get a couple more kills, but it's okay. It's okay. This chicken dinner is definitely the rebound, in my opinion, for FaZe Clan moving on into the final 2 games of today. Don't forget, though, we got more weekends of this to go. I mean, I believe we got 4 more, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 3 more. So there's a ton of PUBG action just ready to happen. So this is only the beginning. And these teams, you know, day number 1, just warming up. So I do believe we got Mr. Holly 1999, aka Gustav, aka Best Boots in EU. Ready to oh, he's here. Hey, Gustav.
Yeah,
Hey, you know you got the best boots in EU. Holly 1999. A lot of people want to know, why did you choose that name? Like, what is that about? Is that like your girlfriend? Like, is that the year she was born? What is it?
I mean, 999 is the year I'm born, but I just didn't want my real name when I'm playing public games because people, they flush so much faster.
Okay. So not really much behind it, just anti-flushing mechanism.
Exactly.
Pretty much. So first 4 games done. First chicken dinner. Games 1 and 2, kind of rough in my opinion, at least as a spectator. Were you guys caught off guard with this lobby, or are you and the squad used to kind of fighting these teams in other online leagues and scrims?
I don't know. I just think we made a few individual mistakes that cost us. Still think our position and everything have been fine. Our decision making. Me personally, I made a mistake in the second game, I believe. That kind of cost us the compound, but besides from that, I think we've been playing pretty good.
So, Gustav, congratulations on the round victory, first off. Moving into the real questions, though, you are the newest addition to the FaZe Clan roster. Coming into this team previously from TSM, how's it been meshing with the other guys? Have you found good synergy with the team? And what do you expect moving forward through the remainder of 303 for you guys?
I mean, it's definitely been different because I was the IGL on TSM and now I'm the secondary IGL. So it's definitely like a transition phase for me personally. It's a lot different. I think we're still improving so much like every week and we're still getting there, but I definitely expect us to win this tournament, nothing less.
All right, I love the attitude. I love the attitude. So talking about this last game, last question, I'll let you go back, get back to it. Talk about that god dip. Would you call that a god dip that you guys were holding this last match?
God dip, you can call it whatever you want. I did not enjoy playing down there. We had 2 kill win, I think. We were just all bored, proning there, looking at each other like, guys, yeah, I think Uber even fell asleep or something.
Oh, but I mean, you guys did get grenaded, didn't Uber get grenaded? Were you surprised the squad didn't push that though?
We weren't really. We have seen like that dip is like impossible to push almost unless you do it with cars. So we didn't really. We were kind of scared of Uber maybe getting like flushed by another nade, but we're pretty certain that they wouldn't push on it.
All right, I love it. I love it. Yeah, thanks for that. Congrats on chicken dinner. A lot of people, not me saying this, but it is FaZe Sunday. It is Sunday. All the maps are going to be on Sunday, so it's always FaZe Sunday here for the EU. I'll let you get back to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to send it to a quick break, and then after that, we got 2 more games to go. Don't go nowhere. Spam those bits, and you might see my nips.
League Season 2 for the European region. My name's Esquire, and Dave has been suspended, kicked off the broadcast, tagged out. No, Dave is actually not feeling too well, so he's going to take the rest of the evening to rest up for next week. Famosity, though, is tagging in. Famosity, how you doing, man? It's good to have you on the cast.
Hey, I'm doing great. Got some practice in, some warm up in yesterday. The last minute call coming in from Apples, so it's coming in again today as well. Happy to be here and happy to help out.
Yeah, dude, great to have you for sure. So you've been watching the games, man. Tell me your impression as we roll into now the final two games of the day. What's your overall take from this pretty crazy lobby?
I mean, you and Dave touched on it a little bit. It is kind of shaping up how honestly I wouldn't have expected it to be. Northern Lights pretty predominantly up there in the top of the leaderboard. I believe they're sitting at 53 points, also out fragging a lot of the teams, 37 kills for them. FaZe did just have a good bounce back game, 2 kills with the chicken dinner though. That's very important. But welcome to South George and Liquid over on the right side of the leaderboard. Not something I would have expected to see.
Yeah, I think a majority of the chat, probably a majority of those teams, their players are going to be in agreement with you on that one. But, we talk about this and sometimes we blow it out of the water. They've got a lot more games to go. It's not going to be too devastating. Day one, especially in an 18-game series rolling into the grand finals, it's not going to be too bad. But you want to ask, is this a trend that we're going to be seeing moving forward? And if they don't give us anything to really shake that trend, or at least that opinion by the end of the day, then I think a lot of fans are going to be skeptical rolling into week number 2.
Yeah, but a lot of confidence, a lot of years of PUBG under the belt of a good majority of those players. So I like to chalk it up to everybody kind of gets one bad or mediocre day, but as long as they bounce back and have good following days after that, they should be okay in the long run.
Totally. And with that, let's go ahead and pop into game number 5. It's about to be underway here with 25 seconds on the clock. Plane path, as far as our trajectory is concerned, I mean, Famosity, it's not going to be too bad. This is pretty much fair and square for these teams to take control of whatever part of Erangel they want.
Yeah, very favorable right across the middle there. Personally, I didn't get to see exactly where everybody dropped. I know drops for a lot of the EU teams are very much more congested and kind of in spots where you necessarily wouldn't expect it compared to the NA professional level teams that I'm a little bit more accustomed to. So it's going to be, I did pay attention a little bit last game, but definitely going to be focusing up this game to see exactly what everybody kind of favors or where they going to be going here for this one.
Yeah, I think the northern part of Erangel, at least in the previous game, we had no teams trying to take up occupancy in any of those priority locations that will, at least traditionally in the past, we have seen. But with the plane path underway, we'll see if any of that changes. Certainly going to be some quick departures coming out of the cargo hold already. I believe Northern Lights is going to opt to head down towards Primorsk, and Unity coasting up that West Coast highway.
Yeah, over here on this West Coast, usually it's this type of drop, kind of what they're shaping up to do is something we see Shoot to Kill do if they're not able to reach Yesnaya, but looks like they're going to go ahead and just hop down right out the play. Coming out early if you're going for a default drop usually is always pretty good because you get down pretty quick and are able to get looted and start your rotation if it's not in a territory that you're familiar with.
Rahina getting boots on the ground amongst the God compound. Going to be one of the first teams to at least initiate that loot phase for themselves. And maybe make a good bit of a rotation here, trying to pick up something priority on this edge. Oh my God. What a nasty shot coming out of the Car 98 of Missy right there for Rahina. You're going to love to see that on the highlight reel, the clips for Rahina after this game. Oh, that's unfortunate, man.
Oh my God, absolutely. I think so it wasn't a headshot, so I think both players actually landing a shot there, but absolutely incredible for both of them to be able to get trying to take that vehicle. They're just like, nah, you're not taking our vehicle. This is our compound and you're gonna die for it.
And the battle still rages on. ENCE and DA gonna be going at it once again here in Razak. A much more heated start to the engagement than we saw in the previous game, and this is going to be virtually because these teams don't want to waste any more time. They spent the entirety of maybe the first 3 phases of the previous game contesting back and forth with really not much achieved until the final moments for DA picking up the final squad. But now all events is on a roll, and Rustin are going to be leading the charge over towards one of the members of DA, pinned down the bathroom as the other DA squad starts to at least rotate around the building to provide that much needed support. It's going to come too late with Mitri getting knocked down and out.
Yeah, Metralius going down as the second kill of the lobby. And honestly, this was a little shocking to me, for me to see in the previous game. I know DA's been coming and dropping in Ross for a very long time, and it's just deciding that, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to take this from you. So they are gonna strike first blood. Smash kind of split away and surrounded by 3 members here of Ints. I'd imagine he's probably gonna be the next target if Ints wants to get even more aggressive than they already have been to try to pick another one off.
Yeah, much different scenario than what we saw played out in the previous game. We saw DA kind of rotate over to the western side of Razak to open up a little bit of an opportunity to get looted up before they twist amongst that Ents squad. But phase number 1 did pop in the meantime, and this will definitely be throwing a wrench in the plans of some of these squads, taking us all the way down to the far southwestern part of the map. A little bit of Sosnovka going to be included on the bottom half, and then a lot of the main part of Erangel also going to be in that circle. But rotations have to come out. Is Naya likely to be a little bit active? Razak going to continue on, especially as these teams are met with other obstacles from the north?
Yeah, DA and Ints not going to be able to sit in Roz for 3 circles on this one, so that might be, leading to why Ints is being a little bit more aggressive with the fight in this specific game as opposed to the previous one. Navi's very happy with this zone. They're going to be setting up shop probably all across the main area. We got Yang here going to be looting the compound just to the north of the bridge across the hill, and then they got a pretty big split going on right now. They're probably just going to be looting up, might regroup, but for the most part, they're probably going to be sitting pretty comfortable. As we got Timmy rotating on the bike following Nookie coming in from the west side of the map after I believe they are the two. Oh, they weren't the 2 players in the God compound, but they're going to start rotating either way. Kimba is going to spot a vehicle for Northern Lights rotating through. Going to throw some shots to make sure he doesn't stop, hopefully. He actually is going to stop, so this is interesting.
Yeah, this might be a nice little pickup for Navi to start to stack at least some of those kills. One target right there. Kimba able to at least put out a little bit of pressure. The quick spray down, though, over towards the west will be finding its shot. Perfect. Going to be the first casualty. The hands of Navi. Nade comes out to find the flush and will likely be able to do so. And there it is. The first kill picked up for Navi by Kimba. A beautiful rather display of confidence as well as showmanship. The marksman of that player, and now trying to defend the compound while other members of Navi as well as Northern Lights try to come in to help their respective teammates. Navi looks, though, to possibly be at a disadvantage here. A quick retreat coming out of the compound to the east for Kimba.
Yeah, very patiently. Does not end up getting the first person he was looking at, but switches over very quickly, picks up that kill. He's going to hop in his vehicle. Looks like he's just going to take that one freebie and probably try to get the heck out of there, regroup with his teams. Kind of, touching on what I was mentioning. They were very spread, looting in their normal loot territory. They're probably going to want to regroup and be, a little bit more power in numbers throughout the middle parts of the map as teams start to rotate in and crash in on top.
Blue zone is starting to work its way in now towards phase number 1, and with that, some of these engagements now being forced over in Razak. You still have Ents and DA still clashing. Then over here to the east, it's going to be Blaze and Omakin as they start to make their treks from east to west. Laza tagged down significantly, about 30% HP is all they have to work with, but also Lipson rolling around on the flank might be able to find the backside of the page. Right there, spray comes in. Only one shot going to find its target through that spray down, unfortunately, for Blaze.
Yeah, Phage getting pinched out here. T-Bone and Register are coming up, though not quite yet knocked. Looks going to throw some smoke here, and those vehicles come up, try to give him a little bit more cover. But we are seeing a very early team fight commit coming out between Blaze and Omakin here. Page does eventually go down from Rip all the way from the hill to the south, so some good angles coming out there. Cash, Register, and T-Bone still pushing forward, looking like they're going to want to continue this fight.
Bit of a hold off as they approach the hillside where their fallen teammate is still continuing to bleed out and trying to avoid any flush damage for the members of Blaze. As this continues on, though, the fights around the map have also continued. We saw some knocks come out between the members of DA and Ents, as well as this battle still continuing on. It looks like possibly the members of Omakin will be able to find the res onto their fallen teammate with the quick retreat coming out of Blaze Esports, and now the shots come out. Cash Register trying to register at least a few bits of damage onto Laza. Won't be able to do so, but the other members of Omakin now will be trying to push up as well. The res does not come out. Blaze will be at about 40% damage as Blaze going to be trying to tear out of this area of the map. Smoke concealment gives them enough room to work with, and they will be rolling on with 3 alive.
Yeah, props to Amaken, able to apply the pressure to get the members of Blaze off of that hill. They're able to get the res. Looks like they're going to be able to disengage as a 3-man and try to continue their rotation. But Lipson here coming around for a side angle into the hacker compound is going to spot them, does take some damage as well. He's got to be careful here. He's going to have 3 people potentially looking at him, not wanting to get tagged up himself. It looks like they're disengaging, so he should be okay.
4 teams have found themselves now inside of phase number 1, getting a little bit crowded down towards the southwest, where Batulin and some of the other members from his squad have started to congregate. Exalt Gaming going to be holding on to the Water Tower Hill as well. A third-party presence that I don't think anyone really expected to come out, especially given the positioning outside of phase number 1. But if you saw the previous game of Erangel, if you maybe expected this clash to go on again, it's a good opportunity to pick up some points. DA going to be trying to push in now. Both teams, ENCE and DA, having casualties at this stage in the game and really just trying to recover. We're similar to what we saw in the previous game, where no team is really at an advantage at this stage in the game. And if they don't do something quick, things are going to look dire for both squads.
Just slightly chuckling the fact that he just W's across the street with an Uzi in hand and able to get this res as Digger was just hanging out there in the building on the other side. But nonetheless, 2v3 situations still unfolding here between ENCE and DA. Shots ringing out. Doesn't look like anybody's getting knocked just yet, but Digger, he's going up close and personal to the building where he knows both members currently are at. With that barrel, it's definitely going to be able to put out a good amount of damage in this close quarter fight.
Spots out one of the members of DA rolling up the stairwell. Wasn't able to find the shots in time, but we'll start to apply the pressure. Grenade goes through the second story. We'll be mauling off the stairwell. And now the push comes out of the persons. Rustin Mar is able to find a nice vector frag down on top of Smash. We'll be able to flush him out as well. One more down for DA, and now just 6mo on the second story. Looks like it's going to be going the way of ENCE this time around, but almost able to find a second knock, though, on the ENCE before going out himself. 6mo and the rest of DA will be our first team here in game number 5 to be eliminated.
Yeah, I know Makin, they're on the water tower coming over and taking some looks at the remains of that fight. Got a few shots down there, not going to get anything for it though. But now that zone all the way down to the southwest, centering on the compound where Navi and Unity currently are at. Honestly, I was a little shocked that Navi was going to favor this specific position so far west on phase 1. But it turns out it's going to pay out for him, as everybody is going to have to continue rotating down towards this part of the map.
You have to wonder how much of Kemba getting caught out right there by the members of Unity really played into that, but it ends up working out for them. I think they're going to be happy with what they've now seen. Maybe a little bit of a contrast to some of the other squads making drastic rotations, specifically all the way up towards the north. You got FaZe trying to wrap down to the south, Gigantin, and then some of the members of Exalt also. Northern Lights will be spotting out some of the members of Liquid. Ibiza going to be under fire, but it's Gigantin that ends up taking the casualties in the kill feed. Northern Lights doing a good job, though, at protecting this compound from any of the teams rotating in this direction.
Yeah, they're just seeing tons of vehicles drive by, north, south, any which way, just spraying shots, making sure that they don't stop. And I think any team that's driving by that compound with the amount of shots, they're not going to just pull up and want to pick that fight necessarily. This point of the game, Spyro is going to get the great shot onto Ibiza out of the vehicle on the coastline. Some shots coming in from the east as well from Fairy Pure from, I believe, there's going to be Tornado Energy all the way over there. That's putting that pressure, so they're not going to be able to get. Oh, it's Tempest. Not going to be able to get the res on Ibiza, but the rest of the 3 members do end up making it over towards the Primorsk Hill.
Probably one of the more unfortunate places for that knock to come out onto Ibiza. The coast so wide open, and like you said, vulnerable shots come for the Fairy Pier, and that's all she wrote. A tough loss for Liquid, who's really still, like we said, throughout the first half of the evening, still trying to claw their way to the top of the leaderboards where many expected them to be. However, K-Mind, Mixie, and James will continue on here, now holding onto the hillside just north of Primo. Over here around the map, though, Corey pretty much going to be inhabited by 2 squads for right now. Rahina Gaming going to be up towards the north, and then Adept on the southern cliffs. No immediate clash going to be popping off in between these 2 teams. Mainly just poke shots protecting the surrounding areas, because if a third team enters the mix, that's when things get a little bit unpredictable, even if you think you have the advantage.
Yeah, the new and improved quarry area, very impressive to see how they kind of changed up and how it looks now. Does allow for quite a few more teams to play inside of it, but yes, just 2 teams, one on the north, one on the south, just throwing some pop shots at each other. We see Exalt swinging in with El Gigantin over on the west. FaZe Clan coming through the hillside just to the west of where Welcome to South George is. So they're going to be neighbors staring at each other across to the hills here. I believe it's going to be Liquid throwing some shots up at them as AT coming down the hill, getting very close to the compound. Merrick, you getting the tags onto K9 as well from the hillside as he's on the backside. That's going to open up for FaZe to come right down into the compound.
I mean, I tell you what, Liquid cannot catch a break anywhere they go. If it's moving one direction, they're going to be met with the resistance of another team than they were originally fighting. Uba rolls in very quickly, ends up running over K-Mine, claiming the first kill for the members of FaZe Clan as they try to pick up more points than they did in the previous game. Even with the victory, FaZe is a team that has really started to at least effectuate that clawback. A team Liquid has been unable to do so far. We also see something that we haven't seen at least throughout the day, but that is also a product of such a dramatic shift down to the southwest. Teams riding the blue zone pretty late into this game. I believe Blaze is going to be one team to still be very deep into the blue zone on Sosnovka.
Yeah, we see Ghostar here split away from his teammate down to just two people fighting Exalt just above him. Coming around the side is actually going to be Nail Up from up top as the vehicle flies by with Shift there trying to go for the drive-by. But just gonna have one member left for LG Antoine over in the compound to the west, now down to a solo. He's gonna have to figure out how he wants to make it in, but I don't think Exalt is gonna allow him to have any entry on this next zone. Center shift, so we are gonna see the water shift out on the next one. But yeah, Blaze making their way across the military island, still have quite a good amount of territory to rotate through to get to the zone.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the land ratio plays into effect coming up next. Certainly a few possibilities as to where it could go, but are these teams going to be able to actually get to where they need to go if they are planning on that strategy? Elgiganton not going to be able to escape danger either. Nork is going to be dropped down significantly. 5 HP in a dream is all he has, but it's not going to be enough against the likes of Exalt, who end up taking them down and out. In 15th place position, they do go. Ship picking up the kill point with another team reversing the path where Abizo saw his life taken away. Tempest's Tamil trying to make it alive, but right into one of the members of Team Liquid, Mixie, who took a significant amount of damage before being able to have the opportunity to take the shots and ends up getting dropped down. Tamil rolls in and takes Mixie completely out of the game. A huge display of showmanship coming in for the members of Tempest.
Yeah, going for the death drive along the coast, just like Liquid. They make it through. I believe it was Welcome to South George who got the tags in onto Mexi as he was trying to spray them off, putting him down to 1 HP. That just opens it up for them to pull up. Now they're going to take the hill from Liquid. Liquid down to one player, having a real tough game so far.
And the one player, James, is going to try to do whatever he can, but being so centralized with not a lot of cover to their name is a very, very tall task for one player to tackle. Exalt rolls into the western side of the circle, edging just near Primorsk, while Blaze is going to be our aquatic team, rolling from the deep blue zone on Sosnovka Island, popping in a boat, and then seeing what area of the map is going to be safest for them, but already very far out of the water, going to be met with shots from a distance. Neither Tempest nor Northern Lights are going to give this Blaze squad anything to work with.
To force them all the way to the edge. Probably gonna have to come in on the south side of Primorsk, and Tempest is actually hopping in their vehicles and is gonna meet them at the end of the city. So this is going to be absolutely disastrous here for Blaze.
I mean, this is a power play right now. Tempest is doing everything they can to shut out Blaze. Not just shut him out, but also tell them there's no way in hell you guys are getting off of that damn boat. Big explosion comes out, and there it is. Tamil and Pixel are able to claim victory over Blaze, knocking out 3 other players, leaving them with just 1. Lipson somehow managing to escape lethal damage there, but will likely be going out shortly. Should he be spotted? I definitely think, yeah, Clib is going to be looking for him, trying to find where that swimmer could be, but it's going to be a hard sell until he has to pop back up for water. But a huge, huge display of confidence. I mean, that's deflating. Animosity. If that happens to your team, that's very deflating to see them chase you to the peninsula.
Back against the zone for the entirety of the first few phases, trying to find somewhere in, and just immediately when you get to the edge, you just get blasted down. But it looks like Clib is going to rotate away. Lipson is going to have a lot of territory. He still has to traverse to make his way in, but Ince coming into the zone is going to be meeting Omakin over here by the Wizard Tower of the quarry, and cash register jumping into the first floor is going to get taken down. That is going to be Omakin going out in 14th place.
Hey, I mean, you got to give it to Digger for Ents for being able to find those shots quickly. He was effective in his spray down, and now we'll be able to continue the champion for that Ents squad. Rahina, though, still going to have a very stacked 4-man squad inside of the core. Going to be looking to see if they can wipe out the lone member of Ents, but he's got a lot of loot. possibly a little bit of armor and a helmet to pick up as well to refresh going into the mid to late game and transition. Tornado Energy blowing through the eastern wall of phase number 4, going to be trying to center up as close as possible on the hillside, but will likely be met with resistance of WTSG or possibly Adept shortly.
Yeah, they're kind of just driving through the middle. It looks like they were wanting to go up to Welcome to South George, but now they're going to dive bomb it down into the Wizard Tower. More vehicles getting sent in here. Digger's going to throw some utility out the window to try to delay them, but coming in, he has the barrel up close. Is going to get the knock on it to 1, so just being a last stand type effort here coming out for the final member of INS, as Tornado Energy, like the rest of them, are actually pushing away. Oh, but the nade is going to get him from a doozy, but Tornado Energy is now in a super tough spot, as I believe it's only a doozy, an example, left alive right now.
I mean, they rolled up in there. Digger certainly did a good job at keeping them back, but in doing so, opened them wide up to Rahina Gaming as well as Adept over towards the west. And now it's just Tornado Energy getting destroyed. There's nowhere they can go. If they go down to the south, they're wide open. If they go up to the north, they're just clashing with teams at close distance. And now we see more and more get dropped down and out. Example going to be flushed out of the game by Mizzy of Rahina Gaming. Blaze Esports, Lipson, that solo player, going to be pretty active in the kill feed still, no matter what he was facing off against. But now Tornado is trying to slow it down a little bit. They know there's another full stack squad coming in from the north. They've got to try to reset, try to find some pressure to apply to this team to get the res.
Yeah, Doozy is in there. He's holding off the res, like you said, as the pressure is coming through. But Nookie is knocked here. So it's only 3 man, only 1 person up close and personal for Rana here. So smokes are out. Looks like it's just going to continue to be delayed, and a doozy is going to be getting the res. Uba, though, takes out Exalt Gaming in the kill feed down on the south side of the map. And Noki here just overwatching everything as well, as the team is pushing in towards that Wizard Tower.
You know, it's crazy to think what would have happened had Tornado Energy gone to the WTSG hill instead of wrapping up to Quarry, because now things are wide open for WTSG to keep their heads on the swivel and watch the angles, protect their location, and maybe walk away with their first victory of the day. But it's not there just yet. There would be 8 other teams vying for that opportunity, vying for that chance to get the chicken dinner, and Rahina Gaming is certainly going to be one of those. Losing 1 member, though, early, Jupezic rather, to be knocked down immediately by the other team that's been inhabiting in the quarry. It's going to be Adept. Sunzi coming up with some nice shots.
Yeah, I actually like the move from Adept. They see the team come off the North Hill, so they themselves get the angles, send one over there. Phantom and Furax are going to be coming over very close on the west side, as next zone did reveal itself. So they are going to be able to continue this fight a little bit longer, as it is going to be on the edge of the next zone. Still just going to have a little bit of a standoff in the kill feed there. We did see Navi push over and take out Unity in the compound towards the east. They're also a team that's going to have to figure out what they want to do here for this next zone, as their compound is going to be excluded.
Bit of a fishing expedition going back and forth here between Adept as they try to put more and more pressure onto whatever forces lie on the eastern tip of Quarry. Buzzface and the rest of FaZe Clan, now wrapping in from the southwestern side of phase number 5, have spotted out at least a little bit of a presence. The solo member of Liquid, Jeems, still going to be maintaining, but here comes the push that we were talking about, maybe setting up. It's going to be Navi starting to at least leave the compound, leave the factory, and push closer towards center circle. Immediately going to be spotting WTSG as well as the Quarry teams, but this kicks off now the battle inside of the Quarry.
Yeah, opening goes on to Mies there. Traded quickly by Nookie, so down to a 2v3 now, as I believe the rest of Adepts up on top of this hill on the south side of Core. They just have such a good angle. They're going to be able to overwatch everything. Looks like Nookie is getting the res, though, right now, so should be able to trade it back, as it doesn't look like Adepts are going to be able to get the res on to their teammates. Timmy here trying to spot what he can up on top of the ridge. They're just peeking ever, you know, back and forth, left and right, trying to get the angle, see if you can catch someone off guard on a specific angle. But you're just going to be trying to pop heads here with this specific angle that's coming out between these two teams with this fight.
This mid to late game phase 5 will really open up if any of the teams are able to drop each other out here to the north. It's going to be very crucial for that to happen, for WTSG to be able to then divert the resources down to the south and over towards the east. Gunshots continue to ring out. It's going to be still trade backs in between Adept and Tornado Energy, but now Rahina Gaming going to be lending a hand in the fight. They find the kill steal on top of a doozy rather of Tornado Energy and pick that one up for their squad. Still going to be looking over, though, trying to find the members of Adept who have been playing this pretty slow. Out goes Tornado Energy. Sunzi, the M416, is able to find that squad elimination, but still having to deal with Rahina Gaming over towards the east.
Yeah, Tornado NMD getting aggressive, trying to step out of the window to get some shots and maybe pick up a few more points. But shots being exchanged from the little steps here inside the court. Nookie is up close and personal. Going to get the shots. That's going to be Sunny onto Mies there. Nookie is the next target in front of him, down very low. Both these players going to be forced to use a first aid. Now there's one player left alive, and just like that, it is going to be wiped up. Adept still 4 strong and take control of the quarry here on the north side.
Phase number 6 does pop as well and shifts us up to the far northern part of the previous circle. WTSG is still going to be very comfortable, very happy with where they are sitting. But now Adept is as well. Clearing out the quarry was definitely a win condition for them given this new phase shift. We'll see how they continue to play out. Now going to be the focus of Navi's attention, but able to find the first knockdown will be Furax of Adept in the kill feed. FaZe Clan has to push in from the north, or rather southwest, and that's not going to be an easy proposition with a lot of WTSG's attention focused in that direction.
Yeah, WTSG basically just been head on a swivel sitting on the dog shots in the middle of this hill for a very long time. Now gonna have to deal with teams getting ever so closer to them. We did see Liquid go out in the previous zone as well while we were watching the quarry fight. Northern Lights looks like they bled a few players trying to come out of their compound, but it does look like they're going to try to find entry over here on the southeastern side of the zone, see if they can potentially try to capitalize on some knocks onto Navi as they are currently focused on Adept to the north.
Pixel, the solo player of Tempest, has been able to find a small window of opportunity as well to push up as these shots start to erupt all around them, but it's not going to be enough. That small window of opportunity turned into a big closure, at least of the game for Tempest. Rolling through now, 5 teams remaining, 18 players alive, and Northern Lights is certainly going to be in a position to possibly contest the positioning of Navi. More shots ring out as Adept maintains a dominant hold here to the north, but will the next circle shift take them away from this location? If they have to rotate off the quarry cliffs anytime soon, they're going to be pushed into a very, very wide open territory.
Yeah, they're going to potentially have 3 different teams, Navi, Welcome to South Georgia, and FaZe, all looking at them if they try to make that exit. 5 teams, 18 alive. Most of these teams still 4-man strong, only going to be the Northern Lights as a duo. So realistically, at this stage in the game, Welcome to South Georgia could be in a very tough situation if they commit to a fight to have another team come over and third party them. They are spotting FaZe, trying to smoke their way in, but Fuzzface actually creeping up very close to the top of this hill right now.
We're going to tune in with the members of FaZe Clan very quickly to see if they're going to be able to combat the likes of WTSG. I believe we're going to pop into those comms right now.
Oh, good. I'm going to try to get the roof guy.
Come on, guy behind the check, kid.
Roof guy got me. That's well played. One on the far right as well.
Super far left.
I'll pick up.
He's like all the way down on orange almost. You got knocked, the guy that
yeah. That's a different thing.
I'll do it.
A dangerous approach for the members of FaZe off of that southwestern border. Unfortunately, got dismantled by both WTSG as well as Navi and Northern Lights pressure the far east. But now Northern Lights are going to be quickly dealt with, leaving us with the final 3 teams remaining. Adept, while all of this famosity has taken place down to the south, has been able to pretty much just maintain.
Yep, hanging out there with the zone shift, still favoring the Quarry Hill. Welcome to South Georgia did lose a body, I believe, to Adepts as they were in that engagement with FaZe, but FaZe, yeah, unfortunately not able to get the openings for that push. Navi, though, they are going to be swinging around on the southeastern edge, going for the full clear over here as they're going to be fighting Welcome to South Georgia here in just a second. Vard, going to grab a vehicle, reposition it inside the zone in case they do need to use it, but I like the play coming out from Adepts right now. They're actually coming off the quarry as they know this fight's getting ready to break out, so they're going to capitalize and try to third party and clean up and win the game off of this one fight here.
Starts to erupt between WTSG and Navi. Kim going to be the first casualty of this fight. Dropped down and out by Zhang. We're going to be in a heated engagement as the trade backs continue to come out between these 2 squads. A trade back and forth multiple times. We'll be leaving each squad with about 2 members up and alive, but WTSG gets wiped off of the map because a death comes in for the third party, finds Vard, takes him out, and now it's just 2 squads remaining. A 3v3 scenario as it currently sits, I believe. No, a 3v2 as it currently sits. Phantom going to be bleeding out. If they can get him back up, they've got a big numbers advantage over Navi, but will it be enough And will they have enough time as both teams are currently swarming down to the south?
Yeah, I gotta be careful. Sunzi was still up on the cliff, but he has decided to come down and regroup with the team of ground numbers. That nade's gonna be right at the feet there. Young is gonna go down though. It is going to be just best of luck left alive. There it is, the winner chicken dinner going over to Adepts after dominating the top of the quarry and then closing it out and taking the hill in the end game.
Yeah, huge game for the Adept squad. I mean, you got to give it up to Sunzi, Noki, Furax, and Phantom. What they were able to do, fighting through 4 different squads in the quarry at one point, coming up victorious on that, and then being able to control the northern side of the circle throughout those shifts. Great job, guys, and a well-played game to lead in to the 6th and final game coming up next. We'll take a look and see if we've got an interview coming in from the members of Adept. It's going to be Sunzi joining us. Let's get him into the Discord call real quick and get some insight as to how Adept ended up coming up with that victory. Famosity, I want to ask them, I want to talk about at least what was going through their head when the chaos erupted in the quarry. And I know that's an easy one.
Oh my goodness. That's honestly, that's what I was going to ask. I was like, so when all those teams were crashing that wizard, what were you guys thinking? Like, how was that happening for you guys there?
So since I said it first, it's definitely my question.
Alrighty.
I'm just kidding. But Sunzi, we've got him in here. Congratulations to you and your squad Adept on that chicken dinner. I mean, that's going to be a nice set of 19 points to add to your kill count. You're welcome. So I want to talk to you guys. What was happening in the quarry? What was going through the team comps? Because I'm pretty sure that was chaotic for every squad.
Not that much. We have our spot on high ground in our side, so we just have to let them push, let them fight together, and we just take the good timing, so we was pretty safe in the high ground. Hello? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very good. So you guys cleaned that up pretty strong as well.
Yeah.
You guys came out of that 4 man alive. So my next question for you guys is going to be, after you got control of that quarry hill, the zone did come back to you a little bit, but you guys did make an aggressive play to go ahead and push off the hill to capitalize on the Welcome to South George fight and Navi before it even started. So after Welcome to South George wiped out FaZe, and then as well as Northern Lights got eliminated, was it pretty clear cut that that's what your guys' next play was? And is that why you guys went for that push so soon?
They was fighting between them, so we just want to kill them all, so we just pushed. We know we had the chicken dinner, so we just only have to push them because they was focused on the other guy, so we was pretty safe. Just push us through and we got everything and killed them all.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Sunzi, to you and your team once again, and good luck as you guys close out the evening with the 6th game on Erangel. Guys at home, thank you so much for watching so far. We've got one more game to slam at your eyes for the rest of the evening. It's going to be one final match of Erangel to close out week number 1 of the 303 Royale Pro League for the European region. Season 2. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Thank you, guys.
off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away, I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space if I'm ever to see you. And I'll go.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final game number 6 of week number 1 for the 303 Royale Pro League. Season 2 for the European region is about to pop off. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and walk through the leaderboards up to this game and talk about how things have progressed. Famosity, walk us through what we're looking at.
So the first thing I want to take notice of, I didn't really talk about it before last game when I talked about the scores, but Navi having a good game right there. I believe they were actually in last place before that game 5, but they're going to jump up to 12 with 18 points now. Welcome to South George. They do make their way over to the left side of the leaderboard by 6 points, so they're slowly improving. You like to see it, but Northern Lights staying consistent, as I believe they went out in, I think, fourth or fifth that game. It's still up at the top of the leaderboard, 41 kills, 61 points. And so it's shaping up fairly nicely here as we move into the last game.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. Navi is definitely one of those teams that I guess just through the last 2.5 years or so of competitive PUBG, they're a team that you always kind of think of as one of the best. And so it's been kind of leading into that story of a lot of these teams from this region having difficulty stepping into this lobby for day number 1. I expect that to change because coming with these kind of veteran ranks that these squads have been able to put together also comes the experience to be able to fix things pretty quickly, because you don't land yourself as one of the best by, well, not fixing your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they should be able to they should be able to adapt relatively, on the fly, as all teams should be able to do, but hopefully they're able to adapt here with this plane path that we have coming in for this next game. It is the ever so treacherous across the water separating the main island and military island, where not too much of the northern parts of the map are going to be reachable by a lot of teams.
Certainly. Many teams, though, already going to be hopping out of the cargo hold, already seeing Ent's going to be departing off of that Razak location, which this is going to be the biggest deviation, at least immediately registerable by our eyes with this plane path. They're going to be soaring up that east coast. And, this is also a plane where they likely could have made it to Razak. It would have been a bit of a trek to get there, but it's certainly going to be something that would have been open to them if they desperately wanted it. But I think the way things have gone, at least in the previous 2 games, get out of there. Razak's not really a town that you want to be contesting game after game after game.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe DA is going to get a little pressure alleviated for this one, and they're themselves are going to be able to stretch up towards Roz, but they're actually going to be going down towards military base proper. Nobody going to be contesting them, so hopefully they're able to shape up to have a slightly less standard Erangel game than what they're accustomed to, but not being contested, so it should hopefully be okay. Wookie Bookie throwing some long-range shots here with an M16 at the team Unity floating over into Novo. Very ambitious. If you would have got it, it certainly would have been an amazing highlight, but off to just looting himself as we see the zone pop, and it is going to be an ever so exciting military game.
So that was the question in my mind. There's always been this, this rumor. I don't know if you want to call it even a rumor or a myth, but it's always been this bit of information that the first circle of the game has to at least be very much so near the plane path. And the teams kind of had to make that bet, right? DA ends up being paid dividends and dropping off of Razak and going down to Sosnovka Island. They're going to have loot wide open, which is something they haven't really been able to do since the first half of the evening. Now, it really comes down to when you have the tools, what are you going to be able to achieve from that? So how does DA play this now when things fall into their favor, essentially from phase number 1?
Yeah, they're definitely set up with the highest percentage, I would say, to be successful for this game. But it's actually funny that you bring up that point about the plane or the zone always touching the plane path, because I myself was always a firm believer that that was true. But I did have a player the other day send me a screenshot of the phase 1 zone and being like 20 meters away from touching the original plane path. And so I just thought it was, yeah, right.
There's like all these myths, right? Like it used to be like the crates used to dictate where the zone was going to go. So if you saw a crate drop, that was going to be center zone, and then that shifted away. And then we had the water, the water myths for a while. Then it got confirmed with land ratios, and then we have this plane path and circle myth. So yeah, it has been somewhat debunked. Although, have you seen a circle that was like far enough away? Like I'm talking like a kilometer away, maybe from the plane. See, that's something I haven't seen yet, which is kind of strange, but it could happen. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But let's see here. Tempest is going to be rotating across the eastern bridge relatively early. Orange, I believe, is close to them for Unity. He's going to hear those vehicles come across, and it looks like he's trying to foot his way up towards the hilltop area on the east side of military. This is going to be an open hill cross, so hopefully he isn't spotted out by Tempest as he's going for this run. Looks like they're a little bit preoccupied by looting right now, but you never know, he might get spotted. So he's probably going to take a little bit more caution with the route he takes to get there, so it should be okay. Navi, though, instead of looting around the ferry area, they did go for the early rotate, and they're going to be looting the compounds around the southwestern coast. And we also see Liquid already making their way across towards the military base as well.
Yeah, I think Tomo for Tempest, who was at the Eastern Crossroads, is going to be kicking himself if he watches the VOD, because he had a Mini 14, he had an AK. He should have been able to easily spot Orange going up that hillside, but free and clear, maybe up to the watchtower, the radio tower, is exactly where Unity is aiming to head. And this is going to be a beautiful location for them early on to pick up so much information as to what teams are making the cross on the eastern side and what teams are riding that southern coast of mainland Aragon.
Yeah, so Unity, looks like they're also going to send a player down into the compound on the west side of the hilltop here. Wookie Bookie and Clib do make their way across the regroup with their teammates for a Tempest, but this split by Unity, honestly, I think they'll probably be able to be okay with it, because usually on these types of zone, if you see anybody up on that hilltop area, you're just going to be like, oh, well, we can't go up there. There's already a team up there. But even if there's like only 1 or 2 players, you might be able to deceive some of the other teams and also have, your 2 other players holding a different favorable position. As we do see Nailup in the kill feed having possibly some vehicle accident, vehicle mishap. Yes, we do. Udir is going to go over and be his savings grace, as it looks like Exalt's trying to start their rotation towards the zone. As it looks like Tornado or Tempest is just going to be splitting around the compound here on the south side of the bridge. Blaze getting ready to make their way across, so might see some early confrontation between these 2 teams, as it looks like they're scouting it up, just trying to figure out what's going on with this cross they're about to make.
The eastern side of this phase 1 circle is definitely the most congested part of phase number 1. If any team, even Blaze, if they try to cross right now, they're likely going to be met with at least 1 death, probably. They're approaching the crossroads right now. Tempest is already going to be spotting out the vehicles, but they're actually in a bit of a departure themselves. Tempest is not going to have their full force there, but they're pulling some back also. They're trying to contest this. They don't want to give it the crossroads easily, and now both teams have been able to get forces up to the building. Both teams have departed from the vehicles, and Wookie Bookie with the off angle has been able to find the first shots. Listening to him down one time, tries to find the spray, is able to get a nice headshot on the Tommel, immediately forcing him back into retreat, back into cover to try to get some meds off.
Yeah, I think Blaze was, playing a little bit with the audio cues there, cutting their engines as they were coming across the bridge and then restarting them. So catching Tempest off guard a little bit here, but they are set up. This is going to be a full commit fight, I believe, between both teams. Clib is rotating on the backside on the north here, but Rip is there to hold that. So it's a 3v3 inside the compound, with each team having 1 person holding the off angle. Tempest just trying to hold, or Pixel there from Tempest just trying to hold that wall, overwatching his teammates. Rip is going to hop in the vehicle and dive down into the compound. So at this point, it looks like both teams do have a foothold. Are they going to continue contesting? Are they just going to stare at each other? Or are they going to try to disengage for something a little bit more favorable? This is phase 1. You don't necessarily want to go, but Rip getting caught vaulting over the wall almost gets knocked. Very lucky he did not go down there.
Going to be Unity as well, third partying. Tomo going to be flushed out of the game. Tempest is starting to lose forces here. They really wanted to commit to departing out of this compound and somehow along the lines made the decision to rotate back and take the fight. Probably did not know that Unity was establishing a presence on the Radio Tower Hill, but it's going to be a big misstep for this squad. And now leaving Wookie and Pixel to try to at least decide how the hell do we get reunited with Clib? Is that even going to be a possibility at this stage in the game? Team Liquid going to be forcing at least a bit of an engagement over here at this stage of the map with the members of Tornado Energy. Doozy and the rest of the squad are going to be lining up with them. They've already got one bleeding out. Mixie going to be on his knees, very close to death, but also concealment being popped to try to protect him. In the meantime, will they be able to get the res, or will Team Liquid once again be dismantled and be at least one man down rolling into the early to mid-game transition?
Yeah, Laya silent rolling into the building there, so maybe or may not was heard, but Mexi's in a tough spot, not going to get res, probably going to bleed out here. 2v2 up close and personal in the grandma's house building up on the roof. This might prove to be a great off angle as he comes up over the top. K-Mine still looking inside. James as well holding the stairs as Example and Abuzi for Tornado Energy are holding. It looks like they hear him up on top of the roof. Nade's going to go up top, going to force him off the top there, jumping down, and it's just gonna be a standstill here. Coming inside though, Elias gonna go down to James, quick headshots and combined spray with K-Mine. Melman coming in secondly, does get the trade, now down to a 1v1 up close and personal at the compound. Here comes around and tries to go flush, chasing the player, not gonna find it. Stepping around again, is gonna get the second knock, and now it's gonna be a doozy coming up, and K-Mine goes huge, getting another one. 3 down for Tornado Energy as Example's just stuck over on the hill, watching his teammates probably die.
And the interesting part about this engagement is the fact that Example is still on the hillside, but also so is Ibiza. Both teams had similar off-angle positions to try to overwatch and protect and help their teammates at the same time. And now both of those overwatch positions are going to be fully engaged in a bit of a distance 1v1. Example making the smart move, though, to begin to rotate off of that. Now try to resort to probably playing for placements as he has lost his 3 other teammates. As that fight was breaking out, we did see the kill feed. At least Wookie Bookie going to be knocked out of the game as well over near that crossroads location. So Tempest just continues to get wrecked through. They have reunited Pixel with Clib and started to rotate over to the west to get inside of phase number 1.
Yeah, K-Man coming up huge here, but here comes Exalt as well, going to be eliminating them. Tempest and Omakan over here, a little bit farther to the east, going to be staring at each other as they are going to be sharing each side of the road. Phase 2 zone did shift more towards the northwestern part of the military island, so we're going to be seeing teams that were favoring a little bit more on the east. That ever so powerful hilltop that Unity was set up at, they are going to have to come down and find a position to rotate in from. On the east side of the zone, lots of teams being congested around the compounds along the road on the west side of the island. Going to be a very contested spot here as it shapes up to normally be when we have these types of zones for the military island. Unity still just scouting what's going on down there inside of the compound at the end of the bridge, as we see Omaka now swinging around on the north side of Tornado Energy or Tempest as they're trying to figure out where they want to go for this next zone.
Curious to see how these things on the east are going to play out as Omakan starts to at least continue on that transition along the coastal side, the northern part of Sosnovka Island. Very quickly, will they be probably meeting Example of Tornado Energy, or possibly even the shots of Team Liquid if they push close and closer. However, things have stalled out a little bit for them. The eastern side of the map, though, still at least concerns me, specifically for the team in Novo. It's going to be Elga Ganton that's got to make quite the push, but then Tornado Energy solo player Example makes a dive over the wrong side of the compound and right into the shots of Tornado Energy. A free and clear kill for them, rather, for Omakan, for Vascu to pick up right there. And that's really all she wrote. It was a tough kind of end for Tornado Energy, where it looked like they might have been contesting Team Liquid pretty good early on, but were quickly met with a triple knock and then leaving Example as the solo.
Yeah, set up correctly, just K-Mine doing K-Mine things, putting the beat down on them as they were pushing in, playing it very well. Omakan's going to grab a vehicle, rotate over. On the north side of the bridge, though, we do see Adepts and Ints are still going to be sharing some territory over here. Looks like all of Adepts, they are in their vehicles. They might be taking this time to go for their sin across the bridge. Ints is going to hear that, so they're going to go ahead and drive up and control the area that they are vacating. I'd imagine, I think Ints might have stayed hidden to allow Adepts to just figure out no one's behind them and then go for their cross, which is why they're going for it now. But Furax here is having a little vehicle trouble and is going to potentially be met by a few members actually silent rolling up. So I don't think he's going to hear the vehicles of Ints slowly approaching, as they immediately cut off the other side of the bridge as Exalt is occupying this compound, going to be putting some pressure onto them. So maybe they were trying to scout out that compound and that's where they wanted to go, but Exalt coming in from the east took it for them as soon as they were going for their rotation.
I mean, if you look at the map right now, as far as priority locations are concerned for phase number 2, many of those are taken. Very few are available, especially if you're even able to get there with how congested the center of the circle currently is. Shots going to be coming out of depth, going to be taking a casualty. Sunzi, such a impactful player for their squad in the previous game, it will be knocked and flushed out of the game. And here comes that next circle shift. Phase number 3 going to be hard shifting over to the far west. The channel still going to be in play on the northern side of the circle. Ents doesn't have to cross just yet, but will have to shortly. Unity going to be looking over here, though, to the east inside of the blue zone and catches out Blaze, who have been hanging out at the crossroads. I mean, pretty much since Tempest left Famosity, these guys have been riding there for as long as possible. This has been one of the longest blue zone transitions I think that we've seen.
Yeah, I know. I don't know exactly why they're still hanging out over there, but we do see a DA. They're going to be regrouping 4-man strong into the same compound, splitting it with WTSG. As also we saw Adepts full send it along the coastline. They're going to be playing the cliff side there. Should be relatively safe for now. James is going to hop up over here to this hill. This hill is a familiar hill. A lot of people have played around it in the past, but with the new additions on Airgill, it does have some crates into artillery structures that they are going to be able to use as a little bit of cover as they're hanging up here, scouting around, figuring out exactly where they want to go next. They got to be careful, though, because there are quite a few players down in the compound in front of them, so it might be a tough cross if they try to go any farther west.
With this hard shift over towards the far west, the blue zone is rapidly going to be closing in from the east, with many teams still outside of the zone and still having to make their way over to the western side of what is now going to be in play. You could expect some commotion to pop off. The eastern side of this phase 3 circle is definitely heavily guarded along the roadside. Navi is going to be there, DA, Team Liquid, WTSG, and even more up towards the north. But the shots continue to ring out. Ents is continuing to at least scout out down towards the south, anticipating that inevitable shift where they are going to have to make a movement.
Yeah, they do send one across, I believe, swimming under the bridge right now. No, just making his way on top of the bridge, just trying to get as close as he can. But Exalt is set up and watching this. So yeah, Ints is going to potentially have a tough transition to come across the bridge the later they wait. Blaze is going to be sending it down the coastline, so this might alleviate some of the pressure, as Exalt's most likely going to be pulled over to the east side of their compound to kind of combat Blaze. Pulling up like this might allow Ints to go ahead and make the cross. But as I was saying, Liquid going to potentially have some tough times making it west across that road. They scout the next hill to their north, and then they're able to send Ibiza over across and make his way over towards that hilltop. So actually very good scouting and rotations coming out by Liquid here, as they are going to be able to make their way into a very favorable position for this zone. Taking some tags, though, is actually it's going to be James getting shot off the bike in K-Mind. Just taking the fall damage as the bike fell over. Almost made, I don't think James had a helmet, so he got headshot off in one shot. I think that's what's happened there. So giving them praise, curse them, I guess. It's going for their sin, trying to capitalize and make their way across. Taken very low, but it looks like the 3 members in the vehicles do make it across.
Very, very unfortunate loss for Team Liquid there. I mean, I thought you were exactly right, Famosity. Ibiza was able to shore up that position. If he was able to pull in those other teammates, that could have been so big for them. That's another story of a kill in transition. Ended up being a double kill this time around, leaving Ibiza now as a solo player for that Liquid squad. 15 teams still remaining too. We are very much so in the time of the game where Ibiza does not want to be going out and certainly doesn't want to be the only player left alive for his team. 46 players still going to be up, trying to fight for a position in the newly shifted circle down to the south. We will be going, and FaZe Clan is going to be under heavy fire for the members of Northern Lights riding that border of the southwestern edge of this zone. Fuzzface, I believe, gets knocked down, but he's able to get rezzed in the process, but they have to worry about the pinch position they found themselves in. Northern Lights to the north, and then down to the south, it's going to be El Giganton.
Yeah, so they were just trying to, split the gap, drive kind of right around that road and make their way in over on the west side. El Gigantuan, though, are going to go for a vehicle reposition and grab the building right in front of FaZe Clan. So FaZe Clan, they do have a little bit of a hillside here that they might be able to work with. They're going to be throwing some shots over there at the Northern Lights. We're in a very strong position over on the hilltop dog shacks area. Northern Lights have been doing very well in terms of positioning throughout a lot of these games tonight, finding themselves in power positions where they're able to apply a lot of pressure and close it out into the late game. So maybe we might see them potentially do that just here again in this game.
Northern Lights are a very scary squad. I think if today has proved anything, it's just that. The question for them is going to be, can they maintain that rolling into week number 2? If they can, then they have definitely solidified themselves as a team, a force to be reckoned with. FaZe Clan going to be eliminated. Gustav goes down and out, and will be dropping us to a 14-team lobby. Now quickly going to be 13 teams as Exalt is going to be spotted. It's going to be Ence's Squeaky, one of the 3 remaining members for this Ence squad, still trying to at least get across the bridge. 2 across, 1 still trying to make his way there, as Blaze has exited out of the blue zone from the east and now tries to trek over towards the west, right underneath where Squeaky's currently holding.
Yeah, Squeaky able to stay alive after Blaze coming in, Exalt pressuring from the compound. He's going to be calling that there are these members of Blaze coming up under the bridge. He's going to pick the fight with them by himself. Listman is going to go down. He doesn't take very much damage, so he can go for the repeat here in the 1v2 situation. Advise him, I'd be calling his teammates over to come over and peek. It looks like Sisu is going to be coming here in just a second to try to get the final elimination, and there it is. Almost. The spray is there, but he took some shots in his back. It's just going to be Laza here, now proning it out, trying to survive for as long as he can to try to continue Blaze's esports position here in this game.
I mean, here's the thing. If Ence loses anything in the process because of not being able to find that final kill onto Blaze, they're going to be kicking themselves, because Laza can play a huge role in how this plays out up here towards the north. A lot of forces down to the south have been now drawn as far as their attention goes up here to this direction, but Ence has been able to at least safely pull back almost all of their members. Tixu pushing out very aggressively, trying to sweep out this northern border of the zone, and there it is. Squeaky with the beautiful shots is able to find the headshot connection. Down goes Laza, down goes Blaze Esports in at 13th place position. 12 teams remain as we shift in to phase 5 in a matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, Squeaky having himself a game right now. 4 kills on Ence, all 4 on him. So putting in a little bit of work. Obviously, his teammates definitely are helping him out when they need to and being very effective. Zone is going to be, I would say, a center shift, but the big thing is it does continue having that big hill right down the middle of the zone. So it's probably going to be 2 isolated situations happening here for the remainder of this game. Teams fighting up on top of the hill and teams fighting up on down at the bottom of the hill. And then whichever teams reign supreme are going to be the teams that are fighting each other out in the end game.
I think it's worth noting exactly what Ence had to do to get down here to Sosnovka Island. They used a scalpel, not a knife, to tactically and strategically push across that bridge, which looked like it was probably not going to be at all possible. So a big shout out to Ence for being able to do that, now sitting comfortably on the northern side of this phase. Na'Vi going to be trying to at least reposition somewhat into the southeastern side. Estelush going to be pulled in as the 4th member to shore up this compound position.
Yeah, it's a pretty good grab from them. Luckily for them, they don't have too much that they're going to have to deal with over on their east side. Just 2 snakes that are both looking like they're going to try to go up the hill. Pixel for Tempest is going to be leading that with the new and improved, I don't know if I'd say it's improved, but new M249 World Spawn making his way up towards the top of this hill. I don't know how much area he's going to have that's playable up here for him, but he should be okay as Omakin did rotate to the north down into the compound. Over on the west side, though, we do see Adept coming off the cliffs, fighting El Gigantor and continuing to swing around over on the west side, but Northern Lights slowly coming up behind them, try to capitalize on all this, and Adept did go out. Unity also just going out as well, down to 10 teams, 31 alive.
A lot of teams starting to drop like flies right now as they've been found or caught out in more vulnerable positions than they intended on being at the 20-minute mark of the final match of week number 1. Welcome to South George, as well as Omakin, going to be sitting at least somewhat comfortably on the far eastern side. The commotion, the chaos really lies over here to the west. Teams are very spread out, very much so in the wide open, with not a compound in sight as nades start to fly, as well as pressure from the Mini 14 of Bachelin. Northern Lights able to find the first tag down. El Giganton's Ghost Star going to be knocked and flushed out of the game.
Yeah, just down to 1 member left alive for El Gigantuan, and he is being spotted trying to run north. Northern Lights being very aggressive here. Don't go in that molly, just go ahead and loot that box, don't step in there, and that is it. El Gigantuan goes out in 10th place after getting clinched out here between Northern Lights and the team to just to their north. But now Round is going to be in a really tough spot as well, as they're going to be pinched between Ints and the Northern Lights. So just going to continue to see teams getting pinched out here as the zone slowly closes in. Ints spotting that hilltop just to see if anybody peeks up over the top there. And we are going to see the zone pop continue to 50-50 this hill. Big issues, though, on the east side of the zone, as WTSG and Omaken are going to have to come more into the zone. Not very many buildings left of that compound, so might see some action pop off there as those teams try to figure out how they're going to push forward.
Once they do push forward, what's going to be lying ahead of them? Is Ents going to be able to drop down? Is DA going to be able to push up and try to solidify their own location? A lot of questions going to be floating around in the air as these next few minutes play out. And it certainly is going to be serving to be an exciting ending to the evening at that. Northern Lights going to be looking up towards the north, trying to spot out the pinch that you mentioned, Famosity. They've got on Rahina as well, with Ints up to the far north. We'll tune in now with a team who has been struggling, but pretty successfully, at least to get down to the far south to Sosnoka and see how they're faring to deal with phase number 6.
Niitä päällä näkyy vihuja. Oranssin merkillä.
Jukasikin ampuu Vannalta, mä mennään seuraamaan. Tässä voi olla parannetta olla varo.
Menkää yhdessä.
Ampuu oikealta. Mä etän savut tähän näin ja menen tuohon ulos.
Mä en mitä.
Joo, mä juoksen tuohon alas. Mä ihan pantakin juoksen tuohon alas.
Joo. Mulla on vielä 1 savu, monta sulla ollut?
2. Mä savutin sulla.
Juoksu. Mä pääsen rinkiin. Pääsen tähän
kiville.
Joo, mä pääsen tähän kiville.
Iro on vituilla spotti.
Mutta kysymys kuuluu...
Tuossa on sitten vuosi teille, minkä te voitte ottaa myös. Kuvat ampuus joku teitä tällä hetkellä? Ei.
Mä yritän juosta.
Savuttaa tässä meidän välissä, tässä vihreällä.
Saanko älä keskellä
kopia meidän välissä?
Mä menen oikealle.
Joo, voidaan piikata tästä yli sitten.
Ne ronettaa luultavasti. No siinä vällä, jossa oranssi päipä.
Niin no, ne heittää savuja itselleen. Se on kai VTSK tai joku sellainen tulee sautista.
Ei, VTSK ja Omakeni on muistaakseni YK.
Ok. Piikataan se. Mä heitän tonne savun naatteen, mulla on 4.
Oikealla puolella 100 metriä Norttin smokesta.
Ok.
Päällä. Kaikki kivet ja päältä. Päältä ja 2 kiveä.
Joo, me ei oo pakko.
Ei voi piikata, ei niitä voi piikata.
Nekään ei voi tulla piikkaan meitä.
Otis sä vuosin sitä rinkiä? Ota vuosi rinkiä.
Joo. Hän sulla vedä, mä oon 0 pärillä.
1 on pan, tekee 2 boosteria.
A good look into exactly how the members of Ents are trying to deal with this, but they also have to be worried about where they're not looking, and that's going to be their backside. The members of WTSG, they dealt with what was lying inside of their compound with Omaken, but now they push directly into the fourth of Ents. Spray comes out, Zhang able to find the first tag down goes Squeaky. The dominant member, as you said, Famosity, he had 4 or 5 kills leading up to this point. A solo absolute achiever for this squad, but quickly going to be faced down. Another knock comes out. Ents is going to be wiped off of the map by WTSG, as well as combination with Rahina Esports.
Yeah, Rahina, honestly, really good from them to recognize that WTSG pushed up the hill and is pinching them out. So they're going to immediately step up. Maricu is down for WTSG. And honestly, I've just been seeing a lot of good movement coming up from a lot of teams on the map. Iro is going to be up close and personal. Gets a great spray. Down to 4 HP, though. He's going to go forced to use a first aid. Mies is going to come over to try to get that trade just around the tree in front of him. He does get his heal off. Spotted at the rock. Underhanded utility is going to be coming directly to his face. He is flashed, nade in hand. He is going to throw it. The nade from Timmy is going to get the knock there. So it's just going to be Vard left alive for WTSG, but he is not safe as well, as with WTSG going up the hill, that opened it up for DA to apply some pressure from the bottom of the hill and allowed them a little bit more freedom as well.
Northern Lights going to be clashing with Navi over the western side of the zone. Navi in a 3-1 split. The tab going to be separated off to the far east of this circle. It's small enough to where they can effectively do this and provide that much support from their teammate. But they've got the grasp on the members of the Northern Lights. Perfect and Bachelin able to find at least one down. Down goes Bachelok. He's going to be flushed out of the game, but Perfect gets traded immediately thereafter. 1 left for Northern Lights, and he's going to be surviving for right now inside of the shack. Navi does not want to lose anything trying to push into this. And it's only a waiting game. Kimba ends up finding the spray down with the M416. Out go the Northern Lights. In 5th place position, quickly following thereafter. WTSG going to be wiped off by 2 separate teams, Rahina and Digital Athletics. Now 3 remain. It's going to be Navi versus Rahina versus DA. DA possibly poisoning themselves with 4 alive to take down the second chicken dinner of the day.
Yeah, Navi actually, we didn't catch it on stream, but made a really good push up the hill out of the compounds in a similar fashion to WTSG did, as they realized that Northern Lights had pushed more to the north instead of being around the dog shack area to control that hillside. Smash is going to go down before LUL is going to be able to get that traded back there. So it is going to be now Navi swinging around on the final member of Rakina. Spotted out there, tagging him up, traded almost, but it is going to be Kimba getting the final elimination there. So we're going to go right into DA's comms as they try to get another chicken dinner here in the final game.
Direkt drop'u pikleyelim buradan gel.
Markımdaki ağaçta.
Solda belki olabilir. 4 kişi, 3 kişi kaldı geriye.
Birinden uzakta Kembanak solunda
Çok
tek
güzelsin
kaldı.
oğlum.
Solu tekrar bakacağım.
Yakın drop yolda. Bak.
Nice.
Zombi uzakta bana sıkıyor. Kitleyim. 1 numarada 1.
Gördüm.
Smoke'lu ağaçta revive oluyor olabilir.
Small içinde yeşil ağaç.
Ağaç tepesinde revive oluyor olabilir.
Bak. Öldürdüm. Kili çektim.
Nice
be. Let's go.
Let's go. The final words of DA as they close out the 6th game of the evening, closing out week number 1 of the 303 Esports Royale Pro League for the European region. This is season 2, guys, but a massive second chicken dinner for DA is something that no other team was able to achieve here today. And you got to say, if you're a DA fan out there, spam those emotes for Mitra, Smash, 6mo, and LUL, because that was a hell of a game for them to pick up with a solid set of 7 kills.
Yeah, played it very well. At one point, it was looking very grim for them, having WTSG in the buildings to their north, as well as Navi positioned in the buildings to their south and on the hillside. But I think both teams trying to make, what I would believe is the correct play to go up the hill, alleviated a lot of pressure for them to have some more freedom over there, which in the end turned out to be kind of what won them the game, being able to stay 4 alive as those teams pushed up the hill and picked other fights.
Good finish for them, as well as a good finish for Navi. Second place coming in with also 7 kills. And then Nuki, Mise, Jupezik, and Time coming in with 3rd place position, WTSG, and 4th. But a solid 6th game and a solid 6 games all around. Before we go off to the evening, let's get an interview with one of the members of DA, 6mo, and get some insight as to how that game played out. 6mo, congratulations on a second victory of the day.
Thank you very much.
So I want to talk to you guys about how today just went in general. It was a pretty chaotic set of matches, but you guys ended up with 2 chicken dinners. What do you attribute to that?
I mean, today actually we're really tired because before the 303 tournament, we had the Turkish league going. So we already played 5 games before these games, so we're actually really tired. But coming into this, I guess we were warmed up. And just played good.
Well, right on. Sounds good. So moving on from that, though, I'm going to talk a little bit about your guys' kind of mindset and game plan with that drop. So you guys obviously have been fighting inside of Roz, but with that playing path for that game, you guys defaulted down towards the military base. And in the end, you guys pulled out the chicken dinner because of that alternate drop. So is that something that you guys are probably going to continue to do on such terrible playing paths, or is that kind of just like, oh, it's the last game, terrible playing path, we're just going to come down here and hope it's free?
Yeah, because of the playing path to go to Rozak, it was quite far. I mean, nobody should understand that we left Rozak, but just because of the playing path, we decided to drop military. So that's the only plan.
Cool. Well, congratulations. Sorry, go ahead.
Even if we lose a fight like 1,000 times in Rozak, we're not leaving.
Hey, you heard it from Osity. There it is, dude.
Yeah.
They're not leaving. DA is not leaving, even if they lose a fight. Well, congratulations, 6mo. 2 wins in 1 day is a hell of a way to start out the 303 Pro League Season 2. Good luck to you guys in the future weeks.
Thanks.
All right. That is going to do it here for us at the 303 Esports Pro League, guys. Again, the first week of Season 2 for both Americas and Europe is in the books. Let's take a quick look, though, before we send you off on your evenings at the scores and how they shaped up after week number 1. Bam, take us through it. What are we looking at? Who topped the leaderboards?
So Northern Lights consistently at the top of the leaderboard throughout the entirety of the day, still up there. They are 15 points ahead of second place with 68 total, points, 45 on the kill count. Ends a very consistent day as well, a little bit behind, a very tough game there through a lot of adversity trying to get across that bridge and then work that hillside. Going to be sitting in second place, 36 kills, 53. And then after their second win of the day, third place Digital Athletics jump up there to 25 kills and 51 points. So they're doing very, very well in terms of, you know, getting those good placements, capitalizing on situations where they need to just secure those placement points and those chicken dinners.
Totally. A lot for these teams to at least think about and work with over the next week before we get right back into the action next Sunday, at least for the European 303 League. And then also on Saturday, it's going to be the Americas League. So make sure to check that out, guys. A big shout out to all of our admins, all of our production that helped contribute for the broadcast this weekend and for tonight. Big shout out to all of you guys over at 303 Esports, and a big shout out to all of you guys in chat for tuning in and spending your evening here with us. It's awesome to be able to have season 2 as well as incorporate a full European league. So we are happy to have you guys along for the ride. Before we cut the broadcast, though, we're going to send it over to Apples of 303 Esports for a brief message.
Thank you, Sir Esquire. I really do appreciate that. Man, what a day one for the European region. We are pleased that we smoothed out production and were able to deliver you a seamless time today. Special thanks to our lovely color commentators, Mustache Dave, Esquire, and of course, the lovely Famacity, always helping where needed, as well as our production lead, Fuzzy Seal. This guy puts in so much overtime to make sure that this production is great for you, so please go show some love and support to all those guys on social media, Twitter, all that stuff. Secondly, thank you to our partners in Twire GG, the official replay analysis needs for the 303 Royale. Feel free to go check out their website. You got recap, stats, leaderboards, rotation analysis, all the good stuff of all of the 303 Royale games right there for you to check out. Thank you to Asmont and PUBG.GS for all of the leaderboard assistance and everything you do. Shout out to the admin team, Cobalt FPS, for assisting in the weekly highlight videos that you guys will see soon to come throughout this week. Optical for his admin assistance as always. And again, Famacity for being our standby caster in any given emergency situation. Guy is gold. The rest of the 303 Royale staff, you all play a pivotal role in making this production happen. Thank you. Witty, head of production, Alsock, head of graphics, Manbun, and myself, the head admins, want to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in, spamming your team support, spreading the word on social media, and continuously supporting the 303 Royale and PUBG Esports in 2020. Without the viewers, we would have nothing to produce for, so thank you. I do have a special announcement before we wrap up. I know most of you guys are a European audience, but at this time, we would like to announce that 303 Contenders League for NA only. Remember, this is going to be an NA only event for the Contenders League. It will be running in the month of May. Signups are officially open. Go ahead, hop in our Discord, discord.gg/303esports, and get your teams in. All the information you could find, dates, schedules, entry fees, prize pool, all that good stuff is going to be right in the 303 Discord for you under tournament info. Again, thanks again to Esquire, Dave, Famacity, Seal. Please go show them some love. Don't forget to tune in Saturday, same place, same time, for our first production of the Americas region as they go into week 2 action. Sunday, we will be back with week 2 of the EMEA region. This is just a start to bringing you high-level professional PUBG esports for the entire month of April. We'll catch you guys next week. This is Apples, humbly appreciative, signing off.